you walk through the valley of the shadow of hell, you will realize that there is something ahead. Something that lurks behind the dark veil. A veil that is beyond our own comprehension. Beyond the void.
What's up, guys, and welcome back to
Beyond the Void
Horror Podcast.
Woo! Woo! We're back!
Woo!
We've been taking a vacation, just as probably a lot of you have been, too. And I gotta say, we have rather enjoyed not having to think about or worry about things, although it drives me nuts to not do it, so it's a little weird.
Yeah.
Like, I was telling my friend, I was like, some people go on vacation to be able to get away from their environment. I just sit and I just stare and do whatever it is that I want to do. That's a vacation to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I
Like going somewhere is a lot of fucking stress, right?
Yeah. I like to just be mindless and stare at my wall if I have to and
Right.
chill.
That's exactly what I'm thinking. So that's what I've been doing. I've been staring at walls. How about you? What have you been up to?
Basically the same, you know. Just binging on a lot of crazy shit.
Well, and by the way, guys, this episode today is going to be our top horror episode of 2017. By the time you're going to be hearing this, it's going to be a brand new fucking year. So we hope that you guys do it up right this year. And maybe we do something a little bit better than we did this last year. And try to do it forward. Do you have any salutations or whatever the hell you want to call it that you want to do? Like you want to...
Oh, like a resolution?
Resolution. Why did I say salutations? That's like
Whatever.
goodbye.
It's basically the same thing. No. I don't ever make New Year's resolutions.
I do. I am.
I should, but I don't.
Mine is to be healthier.
Yeah, well,
I
that's
want to
fine
get in
every year.
shape by my birthday in April before I go see my family.
Mm-hmm.
And before a wedding that we're probably going to both be at.
Oh, yeah. Pizza
Yeah.
and Hurley's.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yay.
So I'm trying to get
420.
into shape, right?
Everyone's going to be high.
Right. They just hand out blunts everywhere.
They should. Hint, hint. There's your party favors.
But yeah, so guys, we're going to be talking about some of our top favorite movies, only picking 5 here. We're also going to talk about some of our runner-ups, our favorite episodes, our favorite... did you do drinks?
Yeah.
That one was really tough for me.
It was kind of hard.
It was really tough for me.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, do I even remember?
Right.
You know what I
That's-
mean?
yeah.
Like...
I had to scour and go back for a while because then I go and listen to part 1 episodes.
Right.
Or for the older ones, try and go back too. And I'm just like, I can't do this.
Yeah, there's a lot of horror shots,
takes
guys.
a lot.
And some of these are just made up on the spot sometimes.
Yeah.
But we've been getting better about it. So we got a few of those. We'll end up with those after we do some of that. But we got
We'll get
some
there.
favorite TV shows, a bunch of stuff that we're going to talk about for the new year and what we loved about 2017. And we're just going to kind of go with it. We're actually going to be skipping the news this week. So, but tell me what you've been doing. How was your holiday?
It was good. It was nice and stupid.
Yeah. Well, you went to that
Holiday-ish.
fucking party that everybody was excited about.
Yeah, Krampus party.
Right.
It was
Tell us
tits.
about
I
that.
had a really good time. It was really fun. There's a lot of really good people there. We didn't leave till 7 in the morning. We got there at 7. We were helping them for a couple days before to get ready and everything.
Right.
And then we got there kind of early in the evening, early-ish. I don't know. We were there's a lot of fucking people there already. And then we didn't leave until 7 a.m.
Wow.
And the only reason we left is because I didn't really want to drive with the
light?
sun. Yeah. And the sun wasn't
Wait, the
up
sun
yet.
wasn't up by 7 at that time?
No, it was like 6:45 and the sun wasn't up yet. It
Okay.
didn't start like really rising till we got home.
You're like
Remember,
racing home like vampires.
it's winter. It doesn't really start
Yeah.
coming up till like 7 now.
Winter is coming.
Yeah, I'm like, ugh. Like Mad Max Fury Road, like
Yeah.
trying to drive home. Like, fuck
I
this.
picture you guys like painting the front windshield and the like windows and stuff with just that thin line.
No, I want.
so that you can drive.
Yeah, well, no, I literally just want the cars out of what is that fucking vampire movie? Daybreakers.
Oh yeah.
Great
I remember
movie.
that. Yeah,
FYI. But yeah,
I saw it in
want
the theater
that.
actually.
That movie's fantastic.
So you had fun at the party though.
I did.
Okay.
It was a blast.
What about it? Did you do anything for Christmas or
No,
no?
I was like sick and hungover.
Me and Christina, like, we decided that we were going to go out and, like, do up, like, New Year's Eve and everything like that. Which, by the way, guys, we're recording this before New Year's Eve. So that's why I'm going to say this. But, yeah, me and Christina, this is ridiculous, but this is what we wanted to do. She wanted to make a pillow fort out in the living room. We're going to get champagne. We're going to get drunk. We got some board games. We got some card games that we're going to be buying. And we're going to be just chilling, drinking, watching horror movies, and just getting drunk and playing board games and card games
That's awesome.
for the new year. Yeah.
Sounds fun.
Yeah. So I was like, fuck yeah, like, I'm like excited about it. So instead of like going all out, going and getting dressed up, going out to this thing and then getting a car wreck or something, I was like, fuck it.
I'm performing on New Year's. So,
Are you?
Yeah, at the Rogue for the New Year's blood drive. So,
Oh.
yeah.
I'm sorry I won't
So
be there.
I'm pretty much gonna be like standing on the bar and
Sorry,
like,
I've got more important shit to do. But
no, I trust me. Like pillow fort and games sounds really fun.
It's
but-
you know, it's just the fact that we've been on this vacation trip, like just chilling, like is amazing to me. Like
Right.
I just needed it. I've watched movies that I didn't have to study and research.
yeah, it's nice.
And I was like, holy shit, I feel like I'm missing out on this.
It's really nice.
Yeah. So,
It's
but
what it's like to actually watch movies.
but we ended up going over to her parents' house for Christmas and had fun with her family.
Yeah.
We did our white elephant gifts exchange, which we did gourmet foods this time.
Yeah, I saw some of the stuff you were doing.
So that was fun. Nick, Cass, and Greg came over last night because Nick's visiting from out of town. Nick Bonaventura, a.k.a. The Starship.
I love him so
If you
much.
guys haven't heard of The Starship, you should check it out. It's like beatnik style rapping over like sci-fi music, and he's amazing. I used to do a podcast with him. We did like 3 or 4 episodes together.
He's awesome.
But yeah, he came by, so I streamed and then I hung out with him and I got shit faced and was somewhere on my couch holding my phone and passed out. You know that weird feeling you get, like
Yeah.
where you've realized you've fucked up.
You hit a wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've hit that wall many times.
So, and then I went to bed and I woke up and I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
So,
I hit that wall on 4th of July.
and when you go to sleep drunk, it's like
I hate it.
you don't even really get real sleep.
No, you don't. You get good, solid, like hard sleep for like 2 hours, and then you fucking like are in panic sleep,
Yeah. It's like shit sleep.
and it's awful. I hate it.
Speaking of
Which is
drinking,
different.
though,
If you smoke weed, you sleep better.
right?
if you have a little bit to drink and then you smoke,
I
some
get
weed and then,
hangovers from
like-
that too.
I haven't like if the couple times I've like smoked
Mental
a little bit,
hangovers, yeah.
a little bit like when I've been drinking, like 'cause
Shit makes me paranoid, dude. But anyway, speaking of drinking, though,
Is it that time?
I think it's that time.
Oh shit! Horror shot!
Today, for our horror shot, it's more than a horror shot. It's a Boilermaker car bomb for the holidays season.
For the holidays. season.
Yeah, and I wanted to do this year, and I've been planning it since last year. One of our listeners by the name of Traps McNuckles, which I will repost this week so that you guys can see, but he made a special drink for us to do on the show, and we were just blown away by it. So, like, he did this shot, he called it the Gut Krampus, and so we're a little bit late, but I felt like we had to include it somehow in the next. It's like I want to make this a yearly tradition now because it's so delicious.
Okay.
So, the way that you make this drink, guys, and this is a special treat, you're going to want to get a mug. We got these for a fucking $1.
You're gonna want to get a mug.
Yeah, you see this? $1.
Where'd you get
At the dollar store, dude.
Fuck yeah, dollar store.
A huge ass,
That's a
nice
beer
ass
stein.
mug. It's a beer stein.
Yeah.
So we got this big ass beer stein. Well, it's not stein.
pint
It's
glass.
a pint glass, or bigger than that even. It's bigger than a pint. That's like 2 pints. A pint? No. Hell yeah! This is a mug.
Well, that's a big beer mug. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're gonna want to take a beer mug, okay? And you're gonna take. We got some Angry Orchard apple cider beer,
I love that shit.
which it is actually pretty good.
The elderflower flavor is my favorite.
It's a little too sweet for me. I prefer Smith and Forge if I do.
Yeah.
But this is what his thing calls
I like
for.
Smith and Forge too. All the ciders in my face,
In my mouth holes.
in my mouth holes. Please and
Wait,
thank
how
you.
many do you have?
17.
What a lucky guy. Sorry.
I like how you could hear you pouring that in the background and it
Sound
sounded
like I'm
really
pissing.
weird. Yeah. It was uncomfortable sounding.
All right, guys. So the next thing you're going to want to do is... Now, he asked for 99 peppermints, which is a little bit stronger than peppermint schnapps. But if you can't find 99 peppermint, you can use peppermint schnapps. So you drop 1 shot in without dropping the shot glass in there. You just pour it in like a Boilermaker.
So tired of peppermint.
Season, Brittany.
Peppermint can suck my left tit.
Jesus.
Just my left one.
Just the left one.
Just the left.
That's the devil's
The
tit.
devil's teeth.
Okay, so now we got Fireball, guys. Pour in, not the shot, just pour in a shot's worth of Fireball.
I'm gonna die.
And as Frank puts it, you can use just about any whiskey, but let's be adults here, as he says in the video.
Let's be adults here.
And we're going to use Wild Turkey 101, which is the stronger stuff.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Now, this shot you do not pour in.
That's the one you drop in?
You're going to drop this one in.
Fuck. This is a weird mixture of flavors.
Pretty
I'm terrible at chugging shots, so...
So to another year, another holiday season. To Frank, a.k.a. Traps McKnuckles, thank you for this suggestion. We
Thanks,
love it.
dude.
And I hope you will too, Brittany.
Yeah. Should I just drop it
To
in
a
here?
brand new year, motherfuckers!
2018.
Another whole fucking year of fucking horror
I
shots.
feel like it was just 2017.
You ready?
Yeah.
Wait, should we cheers and then drop? All right, you ready?
Heavy. Yeah.
3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, it spilled on my... It jizzed on me.
Whoo! Oh, I slammed the whole fucking thing.
I can't chug.
Woo!
I would fail it. Don't ever pick me for your beer relay team.
Holy
I
shit.
cannot be Das Boot.
Did you heard it.
Yeah. There you go. Bink. I can't do that. I spilled it on my... It jizzed on my...
Don't worry, because Mike and Patrick couldn't do it either. But yeah, guys, if you guys want to try out a gut Krampus, it's really simple to make. It is a lot of ingredients, and try your best to slam it if you can. It's pretty amazing.
This does taste good, except for the peppermint.
Yeah, it's pretty
I
strong.
just don't like peppermint, so that's like, it kills me. That was like...
That's a huge glass.
That was impressive.
I'm an alcoholic.
You'd make a great dick sucker.
Yeah. I don't know about dick sucker, but I would definitely be able to guzzle some cum.
Yeah.
You hear that, guys?
Wink.
Wink. No. No! What has this turned into, Brittany? This is not how we bring in the new year.
Every week, this is what it is. It's just another week.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, we're gross.
Well, that's it for Horror Shots! Okay, guys, so instead of us normally doing the news at this point, like I mentioned, we will be skipping it this week, and then we're going to come back with a fresh new week, a Monday episode, a Thursday episode, so you have 2 episodes next week. Today is just a special one-off to kind of fill the gap, because we're still on vacation
To
a little
fill
bit.
the void.
Yeah, to fill the void. The Beyond the Void. So
Good plug, Brittany. Thanks.
But yeah, so we're going to kind of just like dip into some of our favorite things. And then by the end of the episode, we're going to talk about our favorite horror movies of 2017. We're going to go over some of our favorite episodes, favorite great plots. And we're going to talk a little bit about each. I don't want to be too long about it, too long-winded. It's really hard to watch every single fucking horror movie that has come out. But I will say that we made a valiant effort to watch as many horror movies as we could that interested us in the trailers or whatever it was. Some of the movies are still in the festivals and haven't been released, like Tragedy Girls,
fuckers.
which we really wanted to see.
So mad.
What was it? Annabelle and the Apocalypse. Anna and the Apocalypse. Which is like a zombie musical movie
Yeah,
that
I want to see that.
I'm so excited that I want to go see it, and like I can't, and like I looked for it desperately, so probably won't see that till next year.
Yeah.
It'll probably get distribution when they're hungry for like Christmas horror movies.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got a lot of different stuff that we're going to be talking about. What do you think we should kick it off with, Brittany? First of all, let's talk about what did you think of this year, like since you've been on, like honest, real talk, girl.
It's been fun. I don't know. I've had a really good time. It's like I mean, I won't lie. It's a little stressful.
Sure, yeah. It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work on top of like already working like 50, 60-hour work weeks. So
right.
It's a lot to be able to like fit time in between that and other stuff. But
and what's supposed to be your relaxed time, you're kind of like working.
Working, yeah.
It's like, I think of it this way because it's like, and I don't mean to interrupt you, but it's like, I always think like when I was in school, I hated writing papers. But here I am doing oodles of research. You know what I mean? It's a thing I like. But some of these movies, I'm like, ugh.
See, I liked writing papers. Like, I loved writing papers and I loved writing essays. And, like, I was really good at it. But now I haven't had to do it for so long, so now I hate it.
But now you're doing it,
And now I'm doing it kind of again. And
in
I'm
a
like,
verbal way. Yeah. So,
Stupid
but
school.
continue on. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
But yeah, it's been fun. It's, like I said, it's been an experience. I enjoy it.
Yeah.
So it's my favorite thing about it is like all the people that reach out to us.
Right, yeah.
Like all the people who listen, like from literally everywhere.
In our little nook of the world.
Yeah,
you know?
like they're all over. There's people in other countries that listen to what we do. And then they reach out to us and they're like, we love it, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, like this
every
gets me
day."
through the workday.
Yeah, and shit like that's really cool. Or like when actors or actresses from like movies that you review reach out to you. And that's fucking cool. Like, I love it. I like being able to like touch people in a way each day, you know? Well, I can't. Sometimes I can't physically touch
Sorry,
you.
I had to go there.
I wish I could.
I'm a child.
I wish I could physically touch all of you. As long as you're over the age of 18.
No, but sentimental. It really is. Like,
Yeah,
it really
is. It's
means
cool.
a lot.
It does mean a lot. It's one of the reasons why we do it is people are actually listening and they actually care. So it proves that what we're doing is not just stupid, you know?
Well, it's like, you know, I do it for fun, but I take it very seriously and I put a lot of effort into it because I don't like doing shit half-assed. And if I'm going to do it, like, I don't know who's listening or what's going to happen or whatever happens. I just want to be creative, have fun, enjoy things, push myself to enjoy the genre that I love the most.
Right.
And has inspired me to do pretty much everything I do. So this is kind of my little love letter to the genre in a way, even though I may not be the most supportive or the biggest owner of DVDs and Blu-rays or, you know, whatever it is that people think is a horror fan, but I actually do care about it enough. So,
right.
But yeah, and then hearing on top of it, like, hearing from people that are like into what we say and actually listen to us each week kind of amazes me because I'm like, really, people are into that? Okay.
Yeah. I know. It's awesome. And I like get Jenny to listen to a podcast, which is pretty fucking cool. And she listens to us every week and she loves it. This is for you, Jenny.
Like that? If you guys don't know what we're talking about, Jenny hates when we do that on the mic.
She hates that noise.
Or she hates it when Brittany does it.
She hates it when I do it. It makes her uncomfortable.
And guys, thank you so much for like sticking with us. I know some of you are newer, some of you are older and been with us since the beginning. We appreciate all of you. And so we're going to do our best to kind of point out some episodes that kind of like, you know, she hasn't been here for the whole, you know, year. So she came in kind of halfway through in a way. Like, well, is it halfway through?
A little after. I think it was like...
Yeah, you're like 75 of the way percent that we've done so far through. But either way, it's been like I look back at all the episodes we've done.
It's like August.
And I'm like, holy shit, we've done a lot.
Yeah.
Was it August?
Ish. It wasn't July because we did the 4th of July party and I don't think I talked about that.
Okay. Well,
it's August, September.
I think you've really come into it very well. And I mean that genuinely. I know I'm like kind of like a dick sometimes. Like, I don't mean to be a dick. I'm just very passionate about things. And then like, It's like I just want it to be the best every episode.
Right.
So I try to make it the best every episode with all the energy that we can.
And then half the time I'm like, Alex, I'm tired. I
Yeah,
worked 12
know.
hours today.
Can you just fucking let me go?
just let it happen.
Let my people go. Let my Britney go.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway. So
Leave Brittany alone.
So we have a lot of, there's been a lot of really fun things that we've done over the past year since the holidays and New Year's of last year. Last year we did like top 25, but we have some things that we want to bring up that we thought would be interesting to talk about.
Let's talk about our favorite shots.
Favorite shot?
We
Go
just
ahead.
did a shot.
Go ahead.
I'm going to do my favorite one. My first horror shot
Okay.
on the show, which was Mickey's Milk, a.k.a. Titty Milk.
Oh, yeah! That was a funny one.
Because leading up to that
I don't
shot,
remember how it tastes, but...
it was terrible. But actually, it wasn't that bad that I recall. Just reading the ingredients, it couldn't have been that terrible.
What episode was it?
I don't... it was the...
Mickey Me Crazy.
Mickey McCray, yeah. So it was Bailey's, birthday cake vodka, 99 coconuts, and the Vita coconut water.
Oh, my God.
Is what was in it. So it really wasn't bad. It was super nutty.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes sense,
But I liked
right?
it. But the leading up to taking that shot is just hilarious. Like us discussing like the name. And I was
Yeah.
dying over titty milk for like an hour.
Well, I thought I was pushing it too far by calling it that
It's
because...
fucking perfect.
Yeah,
Like,
we were cracking up.
we
though.
renamed it to titty milk. I'm
pretty
pretty
sure,
positive
yeah.
at the end of that episode because the
Well,
whole time I'm
AKA.
just like titty milk. But yeah, that's a good one, and that was a good week because I remember being really sad because I didn't know you guys were doing those two movies, and I love those movies.
Oh, yeah.
So,
you didn't do the movies.
No, because this was I was brought on. That was my episode.
Oh,
that you guys interviewed me.
Okay.
You guys interviewed
The
me for that
Britney
episode,
bloodshed experience.
which is one of my favorite episodes because I'm fucking suck my own dick. But yeah, so that's my favorite, probably my favorite one, just because it's my first one.
Actually, some of my favorite shots have been some of the more recent ones.
Yeah,
Because I feel like we've done more care.
My two other ones are more recent ones.
Yeah, it's like it's easy to pull from those because those are the ones you probably remember the most. So I tried to pull back a little bit farther, but I kept coming back to the more recent ones. And honestly, like some of the best ones that I thought were the ones that we did pictures and shit for.
Yeah.
Like those are the ones that
street
we
trash
took
one.
really good care with doing. The street trash one didn't really taste great.
The shot was awful.
Yeah, it wasn't.
But it looked cool.
It looked
You made
amazing.
the fucking bottle.
It
and
wasn't
everything.
awful.
It was gross. It's not the worst one we've done
No.
because I already know what one the worst one we ever did was.
Let's see.
I won't
Oh,
ever
what is the
I
worst
won't
one?
ever
What do you
forget
think?
that shot. The fucking Marty party.
Yeah, that one's bad. Hey, you gotta have some bad ones in there. I actually do remember, actually the one that was one of the newer ones that I really liked, taste wise, maybe not the presentation, was the Uncle John's formaldehyde.
Yeah.
Which I hate peppermint schnapps, but it had
I hated that one.
Yeah, it had half a shot of peppermint schnapps, half a shot of sour apple pucker, and then you can wet the rim with sugar, or if you want to do salt, you can do it too.
Yeah, the shot, I just don't like peppermint schnapps or peppermint.
I
So
typically don't either.
but that shot was better than I anticipated it being, but it was still gross because all the peppermint. But
Yeah.
I didn't hate it. Yeah, the Marty party is I hate that one. I hate that fucking shot. It's the worst one we've ever consumed.
You think?
Yes. I loved Tom's special sauce.
Oh, yeah.
Because the first thing we introduce I say is one of the ingredients is regret. But it was all bottom shelf alcohol. So
That's
it was
right.
bottom shelf
That
tequila.
was horrible, though.
No, it wasn't. It was bottom shelf tequila, rum, whiskey, and then I suggested putting the fruit punch in there, which I think is what saved it.
Maybe, yeah.
But Tom's special sauce, why it sticks out so much to me is because I thought it was going to be awful, and it was actually pretty good. You hated it, but I was like, this isn't that bad. I was like, Alex, suck it up. I'm like, it's not terrible. I was like, I like it.
This was really tough for me to try to come up with a few. So there was one that we did on the that was our ghost one.
Oh, yeah, I wasn't there for that.
Yeah, it was Christina was
You and
on it.
Christina.
We did an ectogasm shot, and
I loved the name. And
she hollowed out a jumbo marshmallow, and then which was a pain in the ass, by the way.
Yeah.
There is a way to do it properly. We just didn't do it right the first time. But you freeze them, and then you pour in a half a shot of vanilla cream, a half a shot of birthday cake vodka, then shoot and eat.
Yeah.
And it was really fucking good, dude. Like, it was really good.
I was sad I wasn't on that week because it was good. It sounded good.
But you know what's a funny one that we did that you totally forgot about?
Which one?
Shishka tits.
Shishka tits! Because I named that one, didn't I? And I was so excited.
We did a chick on a stick, and it wasn't necessarily delicious, but that was
the
a
Cannibal
really...
Inferno episode.
Right, the Cannibal Inferno episode, which was a really good episode.
That's one of my favorites, actually. We'll get into that later.
But that was a half a shot of Three Amigos tequila, or any tequila, really. Half a shot amaretto liqueur, and a splash of grenadine.
I can't believe I forgot about that because I was so... For blood. Grenadine for blood.
Because we were doing Italian for the amaretto liqueur, and then I don't know why we did tequila, but it just...
That's what we had.
Yeah.
That's why we did it. And we hadn't done tequila. We've been doing whiskey and vodka primarily. We hadn't done tequila.
Look at the picture I did. I put little googly eyes over her breasts.
Oh, my God. It was chick on a stick, and I was like, but shishka tits. And then we fucking died laughing.
Yeah, we were laughing.
Forever. And I was like, I'm a genius. I just called it shishka tits the whole time. It was like the titty milk moment.
Yeah,
all
that
over again.
episode, by the way, guys,
is
episode 49.
So good.
That was a good episode.
We'll talk about that later because that's in one of my favorites.
Do you have another shot?
Yeah, the I guess for me, I also really loved the gray water shot.
That was a good one,
that we did for it, mainly because of how we got it to be that gross looking. And then how we came up with the name was because of how gross we made it.
Right.
So basically and I'll explain the shot to you guys. And the picture is fan-fucking-tastic. Like, we put plastic balloons and shit in it. Like, I made fucking a balloon stick, like, straw holder thing. And we stuck cherries in it to make it look like plastic balloons.
Right.
And it was the coolest fucking shot. And we did whiskey, Kahlua, and Bailey's. But I couldn't find regular plain Kahlua. All I could find was the mudslide Kahlua. And so Christina and I had this genius idea to take these black sprinkles and mix it in with the Kahlua. And we stirred it and shook it up, and then the sprinkles dissolved, and the color, the black food coloring or whatever it is that was on the sprinkles, changed the Kahlua to this like dirty, muddy gray. So the whole shot looked like the gray water that the kids walk through in the movie.
Right, yeah.
So we're like, perfect, it's a fucking gray water shot. Done. And then the picture of the shot was just so cool.
Yeah, that was a really good. That was our first photo shoot.
Our big photo shoot shot. Yeah, it was great though.
Look at me now.
It.
Now, do say something nasty. Shot.
Yeah, we spanked it and everything. It got fucking weird in there.
But yeah, that was.
All the ones we've done pictures of have been great.
That was a really good one.
The Christmas one, I can't believe I forgot to put that one on there.
The Cletus the Fetus.
Cletus the Fetus.
Yeah,
that was a good one. That one also
so
tasted good, and it looked really cool visually.
Yeah, for the Red Christmas movie.
We put a lot of effort into the shots this year.
We've been trying. We've been getting better. Like, we're learning as we go a little bit with this and trying to. It's just a lot of work.
Some weeks we can't get
Literally, we have 2 people, 3 people working behind the scenes for the podcast part. Mm-hmm. And then we have, 6 people working on the fucking website and, trying to promote that shit. And that's...
Oh, that's my resolution.
Yeah.
To be more productive on posting. Because I am the worst.
It drives me nuts.
It does drive me nuts.
Not that you, just me doing it.
That's the one thing that he, gets pissed at me about every time. Is because I have, I'm an
I
asshole.
don't get pissed. I just gave up.
Yeah, he did. You haven't bothered me about it in a couple weeks.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
And I'm like, I'm sorry. But I just, yeah. And that's my resolution. I will make one resolution that I want to be more active on our page, promoting stuff. I do share the episodes.
Yeah.
But I'm not great about it. But my social media, I'm barely on Facebook anymore.
Right.
And just because I work so much, and I know that's such a stupid excuse, but it's true, you guys.
No, yeah.
I'm in the medical field. I want to kill everybody.
Dude, you work a lot. I don't doubt.
A lot.
Yeah.
And it's just a shit show right now, so it's even fucking worse.
This pretty much has become my full-time job, and then my part-time job is become working on music.
It's crazy.
Promotion.
It's crazy.
I'm trying to figure out ways that I can maybe make money through photoshopping, and I don't know. Well, we do have some other ones that we figured we would talk about. We do have. Why don't we do some of our favorite episodes that we've done. This is something that you guys who have been listening for a while or have not been listening for a while might want to tune in on, because there's some like key shows that you might want to listen to. I think they're all our children, so we've put a lot of love and care into them, like hours upon hours of ridiculous work into each episode. But some of these are my favorite episodes. Did you get some? Mm-hmm. Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, I went first for the shots. So
okay, these aren't in order, but one of the first ones I thought of was the It review.
That's a good one.
Because we had like 4 people in here, and I thought it was a really good episode. We had Josh in here with us, Christina was with us, and you and I. Yeah. Right?
I'm so glad you said it, because I thought you were going to, so I didn't put it on mine.
Right.
But I loved that episode. That episode, it was a fun episode. So funny.
Yeah, we did. We went crazy a little bit.
Super insightful. Like,
we
I don't know,
forgot
it was really
some
cool.
stuff, but like I remember afterwards, I was like, "Oh fuck, I meant to say that," and I didn't write it down. I was like, "God damn it, I forgot to tell you that." Oh well.
It's a good episode, and that's the first one we got really in detail with our shot, and like we just really like went balls to the wall with that one.
Yeah, we planned that one out pretty quick.
It was awesome
because we were excited about the movie. Mm-hmm. Plus, I did that intro for the fucking thing where I act like Pennywise. And
trying to get you in the sewer.
Trying to get me in the sewer.
It's
yeah,
amazing.
like I'm talking to myself.
No, man, I'm good.
Any of the episodes I do like a little skit on, I absolutely adore.
I do too.
Because I spend like, all this extra time, and it's like I'm a little kid when I'm in the studio and I'm making that. Yeah. I'm like, oh, I could add this, and then I stand up and I listen to it. And I'm like, oh, that sounds perfect, and then I get all excited. Like, I don't know.
One of the things that I love with this show is the progression. So funny, like all the little skits and shit that you do, and that's all you. Like, I don't do any of that shit. Like, sometimes he tells me and gets my opinion, and I'm like, cool, I like it, or tits is usually my response.
Well, I always send you everything.
Yeah, my response is usually tits, because it's usually I'm working, so I'm just kind of like trying to listen to it slyly. But
well, and you know what? I mean, me and Mike first, when it was Mike's idea to do this show. And I was like, sure, like, let's come over to my house. We'll hang out. We talked about movies for a while, and they were like, okay, let's just go sit in the studio and, like, talk on a mic. And we had no idea what we were going to do. I feel like we've mixed it up quite a bit since then. Like, I want to have more rotating segments, but it's a lot of work. Like, doing true crime, guys, is like doing research times 4. Like, because you got to really get into it.
I would like to do that.
I definitely want to do it. That's one of my that's the new thing that we need to bring to this podcast.
I agree.
We need to do True Crime Mondays and do, like, just weird, disturbing news about fucking crazy shit. If it's short, we just add a couple more. If it's long, we just do that one for that episode.
That's fine.
You know what I mean?
Like crazy news stories from across the world or some shit.
Right, yeah.
I'm down for that. That works for me.
So, but anyway, yeah, it's definitely, I feel like we've gotten used to it a little bit more, and I hope I've helped you in some way to try to, I mean, you've definitely come into your own thing. I know I was a little tough in the beginning because I'm sure everybody thinks I'm a fucking, like, dictator, but it's not what I am. It's like, I really just want everybody to just be involved.
Right.
So... That one was one of mine. The It show was definitely the It review that we did. That was something, I think we all went to the theater, didn't we?
We did.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mouse and I went like an hour after you guys did, or before.
Yeah.
Just because your time slot wasn't sold out, but it only had shitty seats left.
And then it was like the next day we did it, right?
We did it the next morning, yeah, or next afternoon.
Episode 57, Part 1. What about you?
There is one of them, actually, that I really liked that I'm not involved in at all, which is the Funny Fangs, episode 31.
Yeah, that's one of mine.
Great episode. It's actually your most listened to episode, which is I think right now is at like 937 or something like that.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It was episode 31. You said
it's nuts. Yeah. But this was also the name change episode.
Was it?
It was.
I didn't even know that. I didn't listen to it. Yeah.
You spend a while talking about why you changed from Beyond the Veil or Behind the Veil?
Beyond the Veil.
Beyond the Veil to Beyond the Void.
Yeah, we gave a big middle finger to those.
Yes, you did. And
fuckers.
It was hilarious, and I loved it, but I liked the name change, so I was like, good. It's better now.
That episode in particular, I'm so glad, was like a big one because it was a pivotal moment where I thought I was going to lose everything.
Yeah. It's a good episode.
You know what I mean?
That whole episode's really just outstandingly good. It's interesting. It's funny. It's very informative. And also, I fucking love what we do in the shadows. So
yes.
I was like, yes.
Yeah, because we do what we do in the shadows.
And then the corporate one.
Blood-sucking bastards.
Yes.
Yeah, that
so
was
good.
Yeah, those are great.
So good.
Those are funny-ass fucking vampire
Those are
movies.
fantastic vampire movies. Like,
wow, did you set that one up or what?
But maybe.
I'm glad you picked that because that's one of mine too.
Yeah, I loved it. Is there anything you want to add about that episode, actually, since you had it on your list?
I mean, no. I mean, I don't know why. I honestly don't know why that episode is so big. But I'm glad it was because it's like there's some episodes that I'm like really fucking proud of. And I'm like, fuck yeah, man. Like, this is such a great episode. And then it's like the lowest of numbers that we have on it. And I'm like,
right. Well,
I'm like, God damn it. What happened?
You guys did that episode, I think, though, during when What We Do in the Shadows really hit its prime.
Maybe.
So I think that's what it was.
No, I think it was long after that.
It wasn't that long. It got really big 2 years ago.
Yeah,
so
but
it wasn't that long
faded.
after that, though.
Well, it's a cult fave. I think we were late on it for most people, but I don't know. I think I don't know why.
Everybody loves that fucking movie.
Maybe
We're
that's what it
werewolves, not swearwolves. Vampires don't do dishes. It's like one of the most easily quotable movies ever, and it's just fantastic. Fantastic.
Yeah, that is a really good one.
Fantastic.
I thought that one was really good. Another one that I love is Cannibal Inferno.
Ah, it's one of mine too. Yay!
Yeah,
or the autopsy episode.
Yeah, is that what it was? That episode? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The whole beginning of it is me talking about the autopsy I assisted on.
Yeah, that was a good episode.
It is a great one.
Yeah. Well, and we also did I did the intro on that one.
Good.
I'm partial to those, you know.
It's so good.
Like me meeting up with a friend or whoever it was, and it was just two guys.
And this was one of the first ones you did actually with that because that was before the It episode.
Yeah, but I also did Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
We did a bunch when we first started up. I used to do them a lot more.
Okay, yeah.
I used to do them a whole lot more, but I've been so run down and beat by some of the stuff because it's a lot of work.
Well, some of it's not as inspiring either.
Well, like another episode that wasn't this year, but was the Friday the 13th episode, which was like 3 hours long.
Yeah.
Extremely comprehensive breakdown of every single fucking movie and which ones we liked the most. And I did a fucking game show where Jason is a contestant on what was it? It was like Jeopardy.
Yeah.
It was like a Jeopardy thing. And
yeah.
then he kills the guy.
That episode was good.
Yeah, that was funny. But yeah, that Cannibal Inferno episode was awesome. That's number 49, episode 49.
Yeah, that's on mine too.
Yeah.
That was one of the coolest experiences of my fucking life.
Yeah.
I was doing that
Doing the autopsy, yeah.
So that was... And it's so fucking cool. It's so informative, and I get real gross about it, guys. But
yeah,
if you ever wanted to know what exactly goes into doing an actual autopsy, like listen to it.
Yeah, check out that episode.
It's so good.
What about you? What's another one?
My first episode ever.
Oh, the Chucky
Brittany
one.
Bloodshed experience.
Oh,
no,
okay. I thought you meant as a member.
Oh, as a member, no. My first time being on the show, but that episode's really fun.
Was that with Mouse? No,
Patrick.
Yeah, it was just Patrick, you and I.
Mouse did the Chucky one.
Yes. Child's Play 1 and 2.
Yeah, Mouse did Child's Play 1 and 2 with us, but no, Brittany Bloodshed experience.
Yeah.
Which was me, you, and Patrick. It was the first time.
You were
And this was like literally like 2 weeks, I think, after that was when you asked if I wanted to co-host.
That was the pitch of first one's free.
Yeah. Yeah. And shortly after, it was like a week or so, you were like, so
yeah,
can I talk to you about something? And I'm like, what did I do? And you're like, I just wanted to know. Things went real cool the other day. Alex approached it just like that too.
Yeah, did I?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
He tried to play it real cool. It's pretty funny. He's like, so, would you be interested in maybe like co-hosting the show with me? And I'm like, no.
Is that what you thought? Really?
No. I was like, fuck yeah, I will. It's cool. I had a blast. Let's do it. I get to hang out on a Thursday and get shithoused and talk about horror movies. Like, why would I not be in? Yeah.
That was shortly after my birthday and
that episode's great too, by the way. The birthday one. So good.
Yeah. Oh, you actually listened to that one.
I did. Yeah. I went back and I tried to listen to, like, I've been trying to go back periodically here and there to listen to older ones, just because it helps me.
Sure.
But
I haven't even done that.
Yeah, just
because I've listened to them like 100 times because
yeah.
like I have to edit it.
But that episode was good. I don't remember the exact name of it, but
It
that episode was funny.
it was episode 34, Alex's B-Day Brain Bash, and we did a what do you call it? Grave plots called Slaughtery.
Yeah.
With Mike Saga, who is a
Fucking Mighty Mike.
promoter slash DJ slash everything.
He's crazy.
Yeah.
Good crazy.
Known that guy for a while. But yeah, that episode in particular, like, not just because it was my birthday, like, it was just a whole group of people. It was Jordan, Mike Saga, Patrick, myself. So it was 4 people. And, dude, Saga was, like, unhinged, which he typically is.
Yeah.
There was one thing in the episode where he talks about fucking Tim Curry that made me cry. Like I laughed so hard I cried. He said, what if, like, the new It movie, his final form is fucking Tim Curry in a wheelchair?
I was like, you're such a piece of shit, Saga.
Instead of the fucking crab monster. Oh my god, dude.
Yeah, I literally was like, you're a piece of shit.
Yeah, but
funny.
he was like, I'm sorry. He's like, no, I'm not. I'm Mike
I'm not
Saga.
fucking sorry. Yeah. My fucking Saga.
Plus the great plots we'll get into because that's actually one of my favorite great plots. I don't want to get into each of these too much. I just want to kind of name off some of them. The only other one that I can think of is episode 43, part 1, Dating a Horror Fan with Christina.
That one's awesome.
Mostly because she was on and we were both on. Like, we were doing really good. It was really fun for me and the lady to do an episode together, but also we were talking about all the stupid things that we get mad at each other about. and then we also, that was the first time that I got to tell people about the fucking crazy shit that happened in our house that Christina would never let me talk about. So that in itself right there was like, fuck yeah, because I pinned her and was like, you're going to talk about it, and she fucking, that sounds kind of rapey. I didn't mean it like that.
Sounded very rapey. Kind of.
But yeah, she said yes. About telling me this story about the ghost.
She said yes after I pinned her to a bed for 6
Yeah,
hours.
oh my God, Brittany. Yeah, I'll take you guys down that journey. Do you have another one?
Yeah, I do. I actually like the episode 68, which is the interview with Craig Anderson.
Oh yeah,
For Red Christmas. That one's
a really good one.
Yeah.
I didn't want to include the interview people that we did. We did Matthew Price with Other Halves. We did Don Thacker from The Mold Nose. Motivational growth. That's what it was.
There it is.
There's a lot. I'm drunk, first of all. I took like fucking 5 shots right now.
Yeah.
And I'm drinking a beer on top of it.
This is rough. He's drinking.
Fuck you, people.
He's drinking a hard cider.
I'm drinking for the new year because it's been a rough one. Yeah, that definitely was. I mean, I appreciate all of our guests that came on. I really enjoy doing the interviews a lot. I feel like I try to ask good questions, but I'm kind of new at it, so I don't know. But I really did enjoy talking to Craig.
It was a good one.
Yeah.
He's interesting. He's a cool cat.
Did you have any other ones before we go? We go to the next thing? I don't
know.
know. That you named off all of mine.
64. BTV does Vegas.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, because that was a fun trip.
That was a fun trip.
Yeah.
Had a good time.
I was just talking about that with Nick last night. He was like, I saw that you guys went to see John Carpenter and Perturbator, and I was like, yeah. I was like, it was different. He was like, how was it? I was like, well, we had to sit down. He was like, that doesn't make sense.
That was weird.
It is a little weird, especially for Perturbator.
For Perturbator, yeah.
But yeah, no, it was awesome.
That episode's fun, too. Like, we break down Zach Baggins' fucking haunted museum or whatever.
Right, yeah.
Which was a cool experience. And then we talk about the John Carpenter experience with the Perturbator.
I think we did that on the second part, yeah.
Yeah. And it was just a really fucking cool trip. And a really cool episode. Well,
and Zach Baggins himself actually shared the episode on.
He retweeted us and shit.
Yeah, he retweeted us on his own, and we kind of talked. Brittany talked kind of shit on
me.
it.
All me.
But
all me.
Yeah, and I was like, "See, you never know who's listening, Brittany."
Never. I was like, I wasn't that mean.
You know,
like,
we're not going to be dishonest.
No.
But it was funny because like he retweeted it on his personal and he retweeted it on the Haunted Museum. So we got like a shit ton of listeners from that. Some people who still come to my streams, my video game streams. Actually,
I honestly thought that like some of his like big like the girls that are like obsessed with him or whatever were gonna like fucking attack me because I was kind of mean.
No, they were really cool.
They were really cool. Like everybody was really like really chill and supportive. And
you know what I think it is because I think everybody that's watched the show has that moment
where they hate him,
where you went through.
Yeah. Fucking hate him. Yeah.
And then they're like, I just can't hate him.
Yeah, they're like, I get it. No, I still don't like him, so I still don't. Like, I'm sorry, but I don't.
Now we do
museum, bro, but
we do have some my favorite grave plot
I have
episodes.
one more.
Oh, you do?
But
I'm
it's
sorry.
just an honorable mention.
Okay.
So one of my honorable mentions, it's a great episode, but mainly just because of the name, because we've been saying it ever since we did the episode.
Okay.
Which is What in the Sam Neill.
Oh, yeah.
Great episode because it's one of my favorite movies ever, ever made.
And Sam Neill actually wrote me on that one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because I wrote him. I said, hey, do you want to come on for an interview? So cool. And then he was like, said something else, and then I wrote him back, and he never wrote me.
But that was still, oh my God, that was cool. The fucking name.
What in the Sam Neill?
Literally, like, that is, we quote that, or I do, all the time. Like, anytime I want to say what in the hell, or what in the damn hell, or like, what the shit, or something, I'm like, what in the Sam Neill, like, constantly. And so does Mouse. Mouse does it too.
Really?
Yeah.
That's funny.
It's adorable. I love it so much. But anyways, so I had to mention that as an honorable mention.
No, that's a good one. That's definitely a good one.
And it's like, it's one of those, it's like really, really good, but it doesn't have as many listens, and it makes me sad because it's awesome.
Well, what about our favorite grave plot episodes that we did for this year?
I'm going to be that horrible piece of shit and say all of them because that shit is hard.
Well, and those are, and talk about our babies for each of the episodes. Those ones are like, it's a struggle frenzy. Like,
struggle snuggle.
It's like, yeah, it's a struggle snuggle that you love
hard.
it because it's like your child, but you're being raped by it at the same time.
It's awful. Like, well, it's not, they're not awful. It's just tough. The experience is a little awful, but
once you get the, like, I think, like, once you just let go and just ride the creativity wave, like, then you like hang 10. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Sorry.
Awesome.
I had to go there.
All right, dude.
So, bro. So, like, what's your favorite grave plots? I named a couple, bro.
No, my favorite one though that we've done is Ho Ho Homicide.
Yeah, no, that's
sorry, episode 69.
Yeah, I know, and you know what's funny? I never even made that joke in there.
I didn't either because I didn't realize it until later. Well, fuck.
Well, I knew it and didn't do it, and I guess everybody was expecting it. You know,
piece of shit.
So now we get to put it in. 69,
bro.
Ho Ho Homicide, guys, is a great episode. It is episode 69, and it was part 1.
Yeah, it's Great Pots Part 1.
Yeah, so
so good.
That was one of our favorite ones. That's one that might be optioned for a movie. So if you haven't listened to that episode yet, please do see what you think. It's I know that it's hard for some people to follow along, but I feel like some of the people that are in the industry actually do like that kind of creative stuff. Yeah. Not everybody does. Christina's not a fan of grave plots, but she thinks it's necessary. Yeah. She definitely does.
It's a good creative exercise.
I think so. I love it. I think it's different.
Yeah. I don't like doing it every week, but...
Yeah, it's tough.
It's too much every week, but it's cool to do every once in a while. And
it is tough.
It is. Yeah, it's really hard. So that's why I literally love all of them, because that shit is fucking difficult. Yeah. But yeah, the Ho Ho Homicide is my favorite. It's the best of all of them that I've listened to. Like, just cohesively, it's the best one. Not to suck my own dick.
No. I agree. That was one of my favorites.
But
another one that I wanted to come up with, or that I thought was a really fun one, was the Slaughtery one with my birthday brain bash.
Yeah.
That was the one where we had Nick. What's his name? Who's the old guys that we used in that? We had all the action stars in there. Nick Nolte. Yes, goddamn Nick Nolte here. That's like a story that goes back with me and Mike Saga, because I was sick and my voice was fucked up, and I was hanging out with him, and I was like, God damn it, it's Nick Nolte. And I sounded exactly like him. He was like, holy shit, dude, like that sounds weird. Exactly like him.
Yeah.
But yeah, Nick Nolte's in it. We had
not Danny DeVito.
No, it was like Arnold Schwarzenegger. fucking Sylvester Stallone,
yeah.
Betty White.
Betty White.
Fucking, who's the guy that I was always like saying that he's like eating socks and shit? Fucking like Gary Busey.
Gary Busey.
Yeah. Dude, that shit was fucking off the chain. Like, it was fucking...
Oh, shit. Yeah, that episode's fucking... That Grave Plots is really funny.
Dude, I was crying, laughing, re-listening to it again.
It's
I was like,
fucking
man, that's a
funny.
really funny one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
What about you? Do you have any other ones? Or?
I did. Mr. Meat Pants.
Yes, me too.
The one with Don Thacker.
Yeah.
Holy balls. Like, your guys' like creative process on that episode is ridiculous.
Right.
Like, listening to you try and formulate this plot is
Well, because it's kind of a touchy subject,
and
right?
you get the like
Because we weren't
yeah.
trying to make it racist. It was all about
No.
classism.
You guys, and this was after Get Out was released. Like,
Right,
shortly
right,
after
yeah.
That. So you're trying to like
Very
not.
inspirational.
Yeah, it was super inspirational, and you guys are trying to not like ride that wave too heavily.
Right.
So you're trying to be creative and shit at the same time, but also not be racist because you're a bunch of average white dudes. So it was.
I don't
really,
know about average. I'm just kidding.
Oh. Well, Don says it, and he's like, "I'm just your average built, like."
Is 12
blonde,
inches
blue-eyed,
average,
white-
Brittany?
Wow.
I'm just kidding.
But I think that's what he says. Is
I'm
like,
sorry, guys. That has nothing to do with.
I think he said average build, like blonde, blue haired, like white
Right.
dude or whatever. And he's like, so trust
He
me.
approached
Like,
it really well.
He did. He was very well, like, versed in
Yeah.
what he was saying. So he
No, I
sounded
had
great.
fun.
But
That
that
you-
episode, that Great Plots is really good.
You know, one of the reasons I also like that episode, and that story is essentially about a guy from the projects who has a family, and he's a tailor, and he becomes part of the elite class.
Was it like fat people make good purses or something?
Yeah, I don't remember what we said there, but like...
It was so stupid.
But like he like gets hired by this elitist class, and it's not a racial thing. It's just like if you have money, and this guy works for these elite class that are like rich people that want like products made out of human flesh.
Yeah.
And so that's what Mr. Meat Pants was. Part of the reason I like that episode in particular is because that was the first one that we did with like someone who works in the industry.
Yeah.
And I essentially what I want to do, guys, is that I want Grave Plots to be where we invite guests on in the industry who are writers, directors, producers, who have these ideas, and we come up with a fucking movie on the spot
So we're going to make it even
together.
more nerve-wracking than it already is.
Yeah, but you know what? That's like, this is the bread and butter of the fucking industry. You know what I mean? This is where it all stems from, is a conversation. And that's what I love about Grave Plots. So
Yeah, it's seriously every Great Plots
you never
episode
know,
is
man.
good.
Some of this shit, you know, I know we throw it out there and we kind of have, what do you call it? Intellectual rights to it.
It's intellectual property.
Intellectual property. Yeah, whatever. You know what I mean? It's still like, you know, it's interesting to me because I love that.
Yeah.
Like I love to be creative.
Yeah, we
It's
have
scary.
rights to that shit. We will come after you if you try and steal it. Fuckers.
Well, there's ways around it, but
there's
you know,
not.
but we'll always know who
We
it
will kill-
was.
we have lawyers.
and we will talk about it on our
will kill
podcast.
you.
Believe me.
Murder with a lawyer.
One of the other ones that I really loved is episode 26. It was Killer Cat Party, and this is the wedding night episode. This is one of my favorite Grave Plots
I
ever.
haven't listened to that one.
This is okay.
Oh,
So
I need to listen. Okay,
I'll
explain
tell
to
you
me.
the story about it, and then we're gonna get into our top favorite TV shows, and then we'll get into our
movies.
movies.
Yeah, please tell me this one because I haven't listened to this one.
So this one it's called Wedding Night. And traditionally when you picture this, maybe if you're a heterosexual individual, you know what I mean, you might just think like man and woman wedding night, right?
Right. Wrong.
With some sort of horror element. Well, me and Patrick decided to go like a little bit different. We were like, what if it's like a gay couple? You know? And it's like, so we decided that we wanted to make it two gay guys who get married. Because at the time when we were doing this was when it was possible that there might not be, you know, they were trying to strip away like gay marriage and shit like that. So I think that was part of the reason why. But we came up with a story where these two guys who are getting married, they invite all their family and friends, and clearly they have some people who are just not against, they're against it in some way, some fashion, some flippant sort of passive-aggressive way, you know what I mean? That like they'll still go because it's family, but they don't support it kind of
the open
thing.
bar.
Right, like there's the uncle who's just a mouthy guy. David Koshner is who we thought would play the part. And then I also wanted to have the two gay guys would be the detective from Hannibal, who is in The Path also. I really, if I could make that movie, he would be in it because I think that he could do a really creepy, fun character because this is a comedy, guys. But essentially what happens is these two guys get married. They go to a reception afterwards and start killing people who didn't believe in them. In fact, they invited most of the people who didn't want them to get married, and they start killing them. And the way that it turns out, and like all the like attacks and like killing and everything like that, is in the setup when the fucking shit hits the fan is so great. And Patrick picked the perfect song for it. He wanted to do Safety Dance.
Yeah.
So like we got the old cranky ass grandma who doesn't believe in gay marriage, and she's just like mouthing off while they're doing a toast. And one of the groomsmen is like goes over and kicks her in the chest, knocks her off her chair, and the other groomsman is behind the DJ booth cutting the dude's neck and puts on Safety Dance while the other groomsman who kicked the old woman is firing a gun off in the air. They've all everybody got in, they all locked all the doors and chained them up so nobody could get out. So everybody's trying to escape, but they can't.
Nice.
So it's just like this like kill party. And I think that if it was done properly and, you had the right actors, it wouldn't be that expensive of a movie.
No.
And you could do it so fun. It would just be a kind of a mayhem comedy movie.
I'm into it.
So, but anyway, I got to write the screenplay for that one because there is somebody that told me to write up the screenplay for it and send it their way.
It's fucking tits.
I would love to do it. He was like, oh, I love that. He's like, that's a really good. He's like, put that together. I'll either try to help you put it together or give you some tips or maybe we can make it. And I was like, okay.
That's a cool idea.
So anyway, that is the last one of our grave plots. If you guys haven't checked those out, that is episode 26, Killer Cat Party, which has Wedding Night. Episode 34, Alex B-Day Brain Bash Slaughtery. Episode 69 with Ho Ho Homicide, which is recent. And then episode 40, which is part 2, Mr. Meat Pants with Don Thacker.
Mr. Meat Pants.
So if you guys want to check that out. Now, do you have any favorite TV shows that you've been watching this year?
Fucking like a million.
Okay. Any of them that you think that deserve a spotlight in some regard? Whether
I have so many.
Like, I'm not as picky with TV shows as I am with movies.
Me too.
So,
but TV show, I have so many this year, and I'm pretty sure all of these came out this year.
For this season, for this year.
The
predominant
either
season.
Totally this year they're new, or like predominant, like main.
It's got to be the dominant season.
So I'm gonna say it's a hard toss up. I can't really choose.
You don't have to pick them in order, but
I'm not going to. American Gods.
Okay, good one. Okay.
Holy fucking balls!
Interesting.
First of all, Ian McShane. I'm obsessed with him, so I loved Deadwood, and his cameo in American Horror Story is my favorite cameo character appearance of all characters in all seasons of that show.
Okay.
But like, I honestly, Ian McShane can do no wrong for me.
I would consider that horror because it's violent as shit.
It's violent as fuck. It's like, it's super violent.
Yeah, it's a little bit on the fantasy.
It's more fantasy horror, but it's still
style.
horror. And there's a lot of movies that we've talked about that I don't really consider horror, but they like kind of bridge into that. But this show is so much more violent than some of the movies that we've watched.
Right.
So I count it. And then this one isn't necessarily. This one you want to go. Do you want to say one before?
Yeah. Let me do that.
Because I'm curious if it's going to be the same.
I have. I mean, for me personally, this season of Ghost Adventures to me was amazing, and I'm sure that's not going to be on your list because you don't watch it.
I don't.
But this is the first season that we like actually bought ahead of time, and it has been really good.
That's good.
And there's been a lot of demonic possessions, which is my favorite thing. They had like 2 or 3 in there.
Yeah.
So I was really into that. I really like the Ghost Adventures, and I don't even think it's over. I don't even think the season's over yet. So, but it's been really good. Mm. What about you?
Mindhunter.
Yes, that is one of mine. Yes.
I can't. And it's again not necessary. It's not
horror. For everybody.
It's not horror either. Like the only reason that it would be considered horror is because it's true crime and it has to deal with actual serial killers.
Fucking real life monsters. That's fucking horror.
Right. To me, it is. But people will argue that.
Sure.
So, and that's fine. But I don't give a fuck because that show was fucking incredible. If you don't watch it, you suck.
Another one that I think of, and a lot of people don't agree with me on. Some people don't like Mindhunter too, by the way.
Stupid.
I like it though.
Show's great.
Ash versus Evil season 2 was amazing to me. I
liked it better than the first.
Right.
So Ash versus Evil Dead.
And it carried from October into this year, but I'd say the lion's share of it is in
this year.
Yeah, so it's like, I don't know, like, I feel like it's this season, so I still think it's Ash versus Evil Dead, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
this is more comedy horror, but Santa Clarita Diet.
really?
Fucking love it.
I couldn't get into it.
Shut the fuck up, Alex. Go rewatch it.
I couldn't. It's too.
Did you finish it?
No, I
Oh,
couldn't.
no.
I couldn't sit
Watch
through.
it.
Like, I think I did. Maybe I don't know.
I love what's his name? Timothy Oliphant. Is that his name?
Oliphant or Oliphant.
Yeah.
Oliphant.
Whatever. And I love Drew Barrymore, even though she talks out the side of her mouth, and everybody makes fun of me for loving her. I fucking love her. I don't care what anyone says.
No. You're right. You're entitled to whatever wrong decision you make.
Don't care. She's good. She's a good actress. She's adorable.
Everybody was all up on its dick, and they were
It
like
was
excited
fucking
about
hilarious.
it. It's funny, but it was like network funny.
Go back and watch
I didn't
the
like
rest of
the
it.
network.
It gets better.
It's maybe
Finish it.
Maybe
Finish it.
Another show that I just watched is Dark.
I was going to talk about that. It's on mine too. I'm so confused.
That got me and Christina into some fucking arguments, dude.
I'm so confused, but we binged that in one day.
Oh, well, no wonder, dude.
Like,
you gotta fucking sit back and take a break from that one a little bit.
We finished the last 2 episodes a day after. I should say we almost binged the entire thing in one day, but we finished the last 2 episodes the next day.
We did it in 3 days.
Yeah, we basically took like a full, what is it? It's 10? How many episodes is it? 10?
It's like 10 episodes.
For an hour.
I think so.
So we basically spent 12 hours in total.
It was really
watching
good,
that
though.
show. But holy fucking shit is that show.
Right. It's kind of more of a sci-fi thriller.
German.
Yeah.
Just German.
Yeah, it is German.
So German. I love the German language. So for me, I'm just like everything they say sounds
Dude,
angry.
the actors in it are so good.
The actors
man.
are fucking phenomenal.
And they got everybody to look like the fucking older and younger self of themselves.
So
like
good.
they did. Like
casting.
that is probably one of the best jobs I've seen anybody try to
casting?
match actors for their age and look and everything, and then still have them be good actors.
It's fucking
like either they
incredible.
lucked out or they just knew what the fuck they were doing.
Yeah, it is absolutely like it, and I can understand how this is hard for a lot of people like that don't like it, because it is really fucking confusing.
It is a little confusing.
It gets
But I figured
too,
it out. I mean, I was like making guesses ahead of time,
I'm still
and Christina
confused.
was getting so pissed at me.
Yeah,
She was like, "Why are you doing that?" I'm like, "He's kissing his aunt."
Yeah, no,
You know,
I
like-
kind of was catching on to the Game of Thrones
Right,
shit too,
yeah.
so I was like, God damn it.
Right.
And then like
You know,
half the time I'm like, what the fuck? Like I was guessing
Christina
shit,
was getting pissed.
and I was
like
getting
we literally,
I was right.
dude.
every
Me
time.
and Christina were getting into arguments because I was
Oh, I
like,
bet.
because I was figuring it out. I think a little bit ahead of her, and she was like, "Stop ruining it."
Yeah, Mouse and I were
Like we
fighting
got
about
into arguments about it, and I was like, "Damn, man!
Yeah.
Like this movie's got each other at each other's throats. Like what the fuck is
It's
going
so
on?"
Good.
So I don't
It
know
was
if you
so
guys haven't
pretty.
seen it. I highly recommend it. We both do, obviously.
So good. One that I liked that you didn't.
What?
Stranger Things season 2.
I didn't dislike it. I just thought it was worse than the first season.
Disagree. Loved it.
Eh,
Absolutely loved it.
it's
Took
okay.
a while to get into it, but it was a little bit slower, but I loved it. I just felt because of the character dynamics were a lot stronger. And
Everybody-
the relationships were stronger
See, I
this
don't
season,
know.
so I liked it. And they were able to take a little more. It felt like they took more time to build relationships with characters you didn't get to build relationships with as much in the first season.
Take a little bit.
So, yeah,
take a
shut up.
little bit of my heart.
I loved it. I liked it a lot.
Guys,
And it
I
made
know
me
that
sad.
everybody loves Stranger Things, and you're going to fucking hate me for not loving it. Absolutely. When I saw the first season, I thought it was good. I didn't think it was amazing like everybody was like coming in their mouth about. I thought it was good. I thought it was a decent, like nostalgic fucking romp that I loved, and it had every element of my childhood in it that I fucking adored.
Yeah.
And all of the kids and everything together was really strong, and it was a good story, even if it was a little flawed and some of the parts were a little disjointed. But the second part, to me, felt like a lot of it was disjointed, and all the charisma and all the stuff was fragmented, which technically was what it's definitely understandable. It is a evolutionary step in the story that they're telling. I think that they're spreading it out further because they know that they have 3 more seasons or 2 more seasons to do, and if it does well. And I think that's part of the reason why I didn't like the second season, because it was like too much of a setup for the next one kind of thing. They didn't cheese dick it and not give us enough.
There was one.
It just felt so like everything I loved about the first one was now gone and fragmented.
I get that.
And it made sense. I'm not discrediting it, saying it's bad or anything. I just, for that reason alone, I missed that flavor.
Yeah. They had one full episode that was a complete throwaway episode that pissed me the fuck off.
Right.
In the second season, which was a total setup for the third. So I can see what you're saying of why you got frustrated.
It's because they're spreading it out, man.
But that shit made me mad.
It's like they got a lot of stuff in there, and it's interesting enough to keep you as a season. But I still think that they, it's like they stretched it. You could tell that for me, it felt like it was too disjointed.
Yeah.
So. But now, guys, the moment that you've probably been dragging your fucking mind through the dirt, listening to our inane bullshit for. And this is going to be our top 5 movies.
5-ish.
And then we're going to talk about our runner-ups for it and what we liked about it. We're going to play a little jingle right now, and then we'll come right back to do our top 5. All right, guys, we're back, and we're going to do our top 5 horror movies of 2017. Some of these might be controversial. I want you guys to know that Brittany and I have kept our top 5 from each other this entire time. And in fact, our top episodes and everything, because we wanted to keep it as original and unbiased as we possibly could. Just remember, guys, we can't watch every single horror movie. We could try, but we got a lot of stuff that we got to do, and we got to make shows and all this other stuff. Now, these are our personal picks of the movies that we saw, that we enjoyed, and that we wanted and enjoyed, whatever you want to call it. So, do you want to kick us off with one of your... And these are in no particular order, guys, but I kind of have one that I lean towards, and I'll explain that one.
I'm pretty sure you and I have one of them is for sure
okay.
here in my list. And
we'll start off with one of the ones that you don't lean on, and we'll just kind of move on to the last one.
So, I'm going to start with one... actually, which was like super indie independent film that not a lot of people have heard about at all.
Okay.
Buzzard Hollow Beef.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, which I was kind of hoping I'd get one that you haven't heard of.
Right.
So the premise and idea behind this movie, it was, well, specifically I'll tell you, it was released in September of 2017, so it's a little bit later in the year.
Okay.
That this came out. It is about it's a psychedelic horror that follows a family who, after experiencing vivid hallucinations, believe they have been poisoned by cannibalistic hillbillies.
Pretty amazing premise.
Right. Completely agreed. And it's basically follows this like single mom. And I read that and I was like, what? Like, I need to watch this. So it's a single mom that goes to visit her family at Thanksgiving, which I really wish I would have known about this because we would have done it for Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Well, we're getting better about doing newer stuff.
Maybe next year.
Yeah. Yeah, we got
if
plenty of time.
If there's not something else for Thanksgiving next year that's good to do, like maybe we could do this because that would be cool.
Right.
But anyway, so the single mom goes with her friend to go visit her family that lives in this like small town. That's one of the big things there's a diner and then a butcher shop that's all family owned, which pretty much this family all immigrated there from somewhere, and over like 5 to 10 years, all of the family except for like 4 people fucking died. And it was like a big Donner Party thing where like they like ate each other
the Donner
to survive.
Pass.
It wasn't them, but it was like that kind of idea where this family, like they did what they could to survive this really harsh time. And so of course they had to eat
each other's butts
and shit and stuff. And that's, they don't necessarily say this, but it alludes to it. Okay. So that's what makes them think that maybe.
Well, you don't want to tell the whole story.
I don't want to, but I will say like.
What did you like about it? Like in particular, what just generally?
For it being super independent indie film, like that has basically like no budget to it, like whatsoever. They did a fucking fantastic job. Like
acting was really good.
The
I
acting
guess
is pretty strong. Like it's very realistic family feel, like actual like your family that you'd be hanging out with.
right.
The gore and stuff is kind of meh, but it's not awful. But I mean it's funny, and like the drug hallucination scenes are fucking fantastic. The camera works really cool.
Okay.
So it's worth checking out for sure. It might not be your favorite movie, but I found it and watched it and liked it more than I thought, and I was like, this will be a good one to toss in there that I don't think a lot of people know about.
Right.
It's a cool one that came out this year. So
Cool, man.
I know one of mine that I'm gonna say was yours because we did talk about it, but I think it was a runner up for you. So one of the other ones that I chose was Prevenge,
Okay.
which is essentially about a widow named Ruth who's 7 months pregnant. When believing herself to be guided by her unborn baby, she embarks on a homicidal rampage, dispatching anyone who stands in her way. So this is like a super British dark comedy horror, and it's a cool idea.
It's cheeky.
It's very cheeky. Very silly,
dark,
but
cheeky.
it was fucking funny, which I appreciated about it. But
Right.
it's not the most original idea, of course, of like your fetus telling you to kill people or some other person or object telling you to
Right.
kill people or whatever. But how they did it was really cool, and like the idea of why she's doing what she's doing to try and find this like closure.
It's pretty unique.
Is unique, and it's a cool flick. The final like probably like 20 minutes ish are the best to me of the entire movie. But yeah, it gets real fast and just like kind of fucking punches you in
Yeah,
the
dude.
dick.
Like and she's a good actor. She's really good.
She's a really, really good actor. So I enjoyed it a lot. And
It felt very natural.
yeah, and when she was actually like
She could do crazy
wrote
and
it.
sweet.
the girl who
Yeah,
acted,
yep,
she wrote it.
Yep.
And she was actually super fucking pregnant when she filmed it.
She really did it. That was the
Yeah.
controversial thing too.
And Mouse was like, was she actually pregnant when she filmed this, or is that just the greatest fucking belly prosthetic I've ever seen in my life? And I'm like, no, she was actually pregnant
Yeah.
when she filmed it. And it's pretty fucking phenomenal. Like, it's a really cool story. So, I mean, I don't know. A lot of people don't get or like British humor, but it was fucking funny. So I enjoyed it. And I'm one of those people that doesn't usually like a lot of British humor, but I enjoyed it a lot.
What a bitch. No, I'm kidding. I'm just kidding.
What a cunt. Let's see. What else do I have on here? Creep 2.
Ah, yeah, I like that.
Creep 2. Fantastic. If obviously you guys may or may not have seen Creep,
Yeah.
the original, you don't necessarily have to see Creep to understand Creep 2, pretty much, because Mouse hadn't seen it, and I was like, you don't really need to. It kind of ties in the beginning, sort of. But basically it's about a video artist looking for work, drives to a remote house in the forest to meet a man claiming to be a serial killer. But after agreeing to spend the day with him, she soon realizes that she made a deadly mistake. One of the things I like so much about this is totally
How they
the
did it.
midlife crisis of a fucking serial killer.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
It's fan-fucking-tastic, and it's so cool from start to finish. And I like found footage style movies, and this is along the lines of a found footage type style film.
Yeah, well, it's
Or
yeah.
self-shot or whatever,
POV.
like point of view.
Is that like a porn terminology? Right
Yes, it is. I really, really enjoyed it. The commentary back and forth between them and their relationship is
Yeah, they
is
did really good
very,
together.
Very,
Yeah.
very you feel it and you believe it.
The fact that she's leaning into his crazy makes him unhinged.
Yeah, it drives him even more nuts.
Yeah, like he doesn't even know what to do. And now, yeah.
It was really cool.
I enjoyed it. It's one of the movies I did during my, one of the days that I watched like 6 movies in a row. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, I got to watch all these because I haven't seen them all.
It's fucking rad. I don't know. I really liked it.
It's a good movie.
It is a good movie, and I liked it better than Creep. Honestly, I thought it was better.
More original.
Way more original.
I thought that the concept that they did with it went further.
Yeah.
And I'm only speaking about this because it's not in my top 5, by the way.
Yeah. I don't know.
But I do like it. That's how much I appreciate horror films.
The production value was better.
It was cool, man.
The story was more original. It was way more unique. But it was more involved.
Yeah.
You had a better connection to the characters.
Yeah.
So, and then seeing that guy be like serious killer is fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
But that actor is interesting. My next one,
And then the last one's going to be your one that you lean on the most.
the one that's my favorite.
Okay.
Of this year, yeah. Well, I will say that the last one I name is my favorite. This year. But
sure.
This one is called The Transfiguration. And
Oh, the vampire one.
Oh my fucking God.
I didn't get to see that.
It's fucking phenomenal.
I didn't get to see it.
So it's when a troubled teen named Milo, who happens to have a fascination with vampire lore, meets an equally alienated girl named Sophie, which they're from like the projects in like the Bronx, New York,
Right.
or wherever, or Brooklyn, or wherever the fuck they live. And it's just like, basically what happens is they form this bond that begins to blur Milo's fantasy and reality together. So he's this like young kid, he's probably like 14 or 15 years old, and he is obsessed with fucking vampires. Like he has like he actually kills people and drinks their blood. And like the interesting thing about it is following and watching him and how he hunts people. He has these journals that he's like written his own kind of like vampire lore about himself, and like taken bits and pieces from all these different movies and things like that, and books and research he's done, and made his own idea of what a vampire is and
Right.
what he is. They make fun of Twilight.
It's like a
lot
coming of age thing for a vampire.
in the projects.
Yeah.
It's fucking cool. And
Yeah,
it's-
because he's an African male.
he is. He's a young
African-American
African-American male,
Yeah.
and he is brutally fucking harassed by gang members and like kids and bullied, and it's fucking crazy. But it's really cool, and he lives with his brother.
that was on my list to watch. But I didn't have enough time.
Yeah, you need to.
It was like 10 movies in 2 days, and I was like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, this is one, guys, that I really, really fucking recommend. It's a good thinker movie, but you don't have to really think when you watch it. I don't know, but it tugs at your heart a little bit too, and it's really, really good. And
Okay.
it's so now
Okay.
and current. And the craziest thing about it to me was how he can get away with killing these people, because that's just how it is in fucking the projects in New York. People die in weird fucking ways all the time, and it's not fucking investigated. And it doesn't matter. It's just a way of life.
It's a way of life.
It's a way of life. And it just shit happens, and it's fucking bizarre. And so following him throughout this entire story is just really, really cool.
Okay.
Very well done. It's very well shot. It's
Okay.
not super.
That's on my list, so.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, I just didn't get a chance to see it. Sometimes we get wrapped up in all
for
this.
sure.
So.
There's like 100 that I want to see that I haven't. So.
Right.
But I definitely recommend checking it out. Anyways,
Transfiguration.
The Transfiguration.
Yes.
And it is on the Netflix. So is Buzzard Hollow Beef. I think it's on Netflix.
Okay.
Something like that.
I'll be checking those both out.
Prevenge was on Shudder.
Yeah.
And Creep 2 is Netflix.
Yeah.
So I already know one of yours, and I'm going to agree with it, so I'm not going to say it, because it's also one of my big ones.
See,
but no, I'm done. I'm on my last one.
Okay,
and
but
this was my favorite.
So first of all, let me preface this before she says this. She told me she didn't want to pick any of the popular ones that anybody would have picked.
Trying not to.
She was trying not to, and some of them that she didn't even actually see, some of the big ones. But go ahead.
But my favorite movie of 2017, hands down, was Gerald's Game.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, and I can see that. It is definitely. I'm not trying to be like sexist by any means, but I really feel like I connected with it.
Oh, that's
and
not
I
even
can
what
imagine
it's about for me at all.
But there's a lot of.
yeah.
There is a very feminine tone to it.
Oh, for sure.
And it's I watched that. I thought it was good.
Just first of all, this was like the year of Stephen King.
Apparently, yeah.
Imagined Stephen King or whatever.
Right.
And this book is great, but I haven't felt so naturally fucking creeped out by a movie in a long time.
The conversations literally out loud.
The
mental conversation you have with yourself.
Yeah. I can't
don't
talk
wanna
about
ruin it for anybody.
because it will totally kill it.
Yeah, this
but
is where people listen to get ideas to watch
holy
movies. So
fuck you guys. I haven't been that unsettled by a movie in a long time.
yeah.
And it's not anything that's like over the top fucking like gross or scary.
Well, there was a gross part in it.
But it was just cool and super fucking real.
I had to turn away
Really?
during one part, and you know the part I'm talking about.
Do I? Oh my god, I didn't. I was like fucking glued to my TV.
I watched afterwards, but the initial part of it, I had to like.
Oh, Mouse was like, oh, like he's like,
Yeah.
ah, he's like, all right, I'm covered in goosebumps. This is fucking weird.
Right.
This is fucking weird, and I'm like, ew. Like the whole time, I'm like, oh no, no.
So
Anyway.
tell me more about why you like this one.
The entire idea and concept of this movie is so completely realistic to me. That's what blows my mind the most, I think. And it is definitely it's a survival horror movie, pretty much.
They
She's
do
on her own.
Yeah.
It's a realistic survival film of how she's going to get out of this fucking terrible situation.
Right, in her own mind, which is
Basically,
amazing.
If you guys don't know, the general idea behind this is this older couple wants to spice up their fucking relationship.
That's falling apart.
Totally falling apart, and neither of them wants to admit it. They decide to go to their like fucking forest rural house or whatever in the woods somewhere. And she allows him to do this like Gerald's game kind of experience where he wants to do this like kinky game with her. So he chains her up to the bed and has a heart attack and dies.
And then she's
stuck there.
Yeah.
And it's following her survival of how she gets out or doesn't get out of that situation and what happens to her in that time frame. And there's a lot of setup in the beginning, and which I pay attention to that kind of shit because I'm like,
Oh yeah.
Oh shit, like
Yeah,
that. You know
yeah.
what I mean? Like I'm like, oh man, these are the little breadcrumbs that they're leaving here and there, or whatever, or foreshadowing. It's a lot of foreshadowing that goes
Sure.
on in the beginning, and I don't know. To me, it's just one of my favorite movies.
But I do feel like it is a very feminine movie,
for sure.
and I think,
very
and not to
female
say that
empowerment.
men can't enjoy it, because I clearly did.
Mouse loved it.
I thought it was a really good movie. I thought that how they dealt with how your mind thinks out loud was really intelligent and
handling your fatigue.
Yeah.
And how your mind just generally plays fucking crazy tricks.
Well, and
on
I
you.
haven't read his short story or whatever the original
Gerald
is from.
Ann,
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't remember. I didn't read that, so I can't really base it off anything other than that. But yeah, I think
It's fucking crazy, and it takes this ridiculous like back road turn in the middle of it, and it's like how she works through all these different demons inside of her to get out of the situation. It's fucking phenomenal. It's a really fucking fantastic film, so just watch it.
okay.
But like I said, I haven't felt that unnerved or unsettled by a movie in a long time.
So you really
There's
liked
a
it,
lot
huh?
of parts where I was like, ugh.
All right.
Ugh.
I watched
I don't
it. It
do
was
that
one of the
much.
10 movies I watched over this vacation to try to catch up on ones that I, for whatever reason, in the back of my head, just didn't give a chance.
Yeah.
Like I watched The Dark Song. I watched like all these different ones, and I have quite a few runner-ups, guys. And I'll tell those after I tell you which ones are mine. First of all, let me just start off with one of the ones that might be a little bit controversial as to whether or not it is a horror movie, but the amount of tension and suspense and anxiety I got from this movie, and the lasting thoughts that I had after the movie was over, and the message that it gave, which it kind of polarized people in a lot of ways, because some people who were not religious hated it. Some people who are religious got pissed off about it. It's just one of those movies, but I still think that this movie is a really good movie, and it is not go out in the theater and see it. Like, you got to see it. It's just a movie that you got to see. I personally think very much like any of his other films, and that's Darren Aronofsky's Mother.
Yeah.
With exclamation point. Now, I thought about this long and hard because I was like, do I add this into the horror?
Yes.
And I was like, I don't know. I was like, but I'll tell you what, that movie made me think like days after I watched it. And I'm sorry, but when I watch a movie that does that to me and I ponder what each piece of the movie was about, like that you could put on a cutting board. And yes, philosophically, it could be kind of simple to some people, and it may be very apparent to some, and it may be completely mind-boggling to others. But that's what I like about it, is that there's so much thought in it. And he wrote it over this like a period of time that was like he just couldn't stop writing it.
Yeah.
And at some point, it became. I'm a huge. I don't know how to explain it. I really get into creationism.
Right.
In the sense of, like, not that I feel like I'm a god, but in the sense that I am doing, if you want to call it God's work, whether you believe or do not believe in God or a higher power of some sort. But this movie kind of fed into the creationism that I think about, not about God necessarily, just in general about creating something from nothing in life. And Mother was one of those movies that from beginning to end, it captured me. Yeah. And I really liked it.
I heard it's basically a visual panic attack.
Yes, that's what I called it. That's what I called it. Yeah. I was like, it literally, this is what a panic attack looks like.
Yeah, for people who've never had one.
Right.
That's exactly
And it has Stephen McHattie is in it, which I fucking love him from Pontypool. That's one of my favorite movies.
And J-Law.
Yeah, that too, yeah. But a lot of people got pissed at her about this movie.
Don't care.
But she's also dating Darren Aronofsky, so go figure.
Fucking love Jennifer Lawrence.
Another movie that I want to bring up, I have to mention this. This is a bigger movie, obviously. It is It.
Yeah.
It was I was hoping for the best and got more than I expected, I think.
Agreed.
There is a lot of people out there that really think it's garbage. And I feel like 80% of those people that say that are typically people who just could not let go of the original It miniseries, which was flawed.
Kind of garbage.
It wasn't garbage. It just is flawed in a lot of ways. There's elements in it that are really amazing.
Oh yeah, I love it, but it's not comparable.
I always felt like the story was always about the kids.
Agreed.
More than the clown.
Yes.
And I think some people might have been turned off by some of the elements of his acting. It's not that he did a bad acting job. I think that the movie as a whole, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of cussing in it, and I'm sure that upsets a lot of people. But honestly, like, that's how I think of my childhood when I was growing up.
Yeah, I talked like that.
Yeah, we cussed like that.
We all did.
Yeah. Because we weren't around our parents.
Exactly.
And that's how you did it.
It was fuck this, fuck that, shit, pussy, bitch, all the time. All fucking day long,
Jesus.
whether it made sense or not in conversation. It didn't matter.
But yeah, I really liked it. It's visually stimulating. The characters, the kids was what I was most concerned about in the whole fucking thing. And that to me was very important. It took me a little while to get used to the kids. So fair point there. I've mentioned that in the review that we talked about. But sooner or later, it became, really cool. There is some flaws in the movie. I think I gave it like an 8.5. But still, out of the brood of all the different movies that are bigger, I wanted to include a little bit of both in this one. Or in our top 5. But I thought it was a really good movie. And I'm anxious to get it. I'm anxious to watch it again because I do like it. I think it's creepy and weird.
Oh, I loved it.
It's not necessarily, like, scary. I wasn't expected to be completely scared by it because it's silly in a way. The concept is silly, like, and you're never going to remake that nostalgia you got when you watched the miniseries. When you were 6 or 10 or whatever the fuck age you were.
Yeah.
So, anyway, enough of my bullshit. Next movie that I want to talk about is probably Get Out. Get Out, I think, is one of the more creative, kind of a glance at a M. Night Shyamalan movie, but with better writing. And a way better socio-political conversation.
Yeah.
It is probably one of the more prevalent conversations that we should be having. I know that it triggered a lot of, like, white supremacists, and fuck you.
Yeah, fuck you.
I really don't care. Like, I thought it was well done. It was a perfect balance between, it's a really interesting story. Some of it is kind of new and some of it isn't. Like, a lot of people compare it to the Skeleton Key story and movie, which I totally understand and get. But in the same respect, it's his first movie and nobody was expecting this.
Fuck no.
Nobody
First of all,
was. It's a comedian.
Dude, Key and Peele, I can't with them. I fucking love them so much, first of all. But it always blows my mind every time he gets a chance to talk about things that he loves and he's passionate about. He always mentions how much he loves fucking horror.
Right.
Always. Never fails to mention that on their show.
And he really, truly is.
And he loves it. And that was crazy to me. But I remember when I first saw that he was behind it, and I'm like, what?
This is his little slice of... He really made it. It's a historical movie in my opinion.
Fuck yeah! This is like literally everybody you ask about what their favorite movie of this year, horror movie.
Nobody
or
can
whatever,
dance around that subject as good as he did.
Everybody says it.
Nobody could have danced around that subject matter as much as he did, and still done it tastefully, and not made it entirely about that necessarily. Yeah. It wasn't entirely about that.
No, that's where he did it right.
He was showing his fears and thoughts that he came up with, and put it into perspective. And I thought it was really well done. Like, I enjoyed it from start to finish. And every time I watch the motherfucking movie, I go, God damn, that is a really good movie. Mm-hmm. It's funny. It's entertaining. It's scary. It's creepy. It's trippy. It's weird. It's thriller-esque. And it kind of leans towards thriller. I'm sure it's going to win awards all over the fucking place.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, if you haven't seen Get Out, I highly recommend it. I really enjoyed it. I think it's definitely one of the top 5, and I would be remiss from myself to not include it into the top 5. On another note, one of the other top movies that I had a really hard time deciding what would be my number 1 movie that I kept coming back to. But this movie, man, I've seen some polarizing views on this movie, and it's one that you haven't seen.
Ah.
And it's Devil's Candy.
Yeah.
Oh my God, dude. This movie is so atmospheric. It is creepy. It is trippy. It is like, aside from like Evan's fucking wig that he wears, the main star, which is pretty bad, by the way. I think this movie is pretty phenomenal.
I'm watching it when I go home.
It's not perfect, but I really, man, this is like a 9 for me. Like, it is so good. Like, if you like art and you like occultism and you like
I know, it's
dark,
up my alley.
trippy, dude, it's gonna be your movie, dude. It's gonna be your number 1 movie. It might
Probably.
even beat Gerald's Game.
Probably.
I'm telling you, dude.
I know.
So you're gonna have to come back and tell me what you think when you come back on.
I literally, like, we should do it. And
I've seen some people that were like, "Oh, this movie sucked," and I'm
mostly
like,
everybody
"What?"
that I've seen reviews from didn't like it.
That's so weird.
And a
to
lot
me.
of our friends that are like super into horror didn't like it. So
I thought it's
like,
some of the best acting that the lead actor had ever done.
Yeah.
And this is a guy that came from Empire fucking Records. Can't hardly wait. He did On a Mountain Pass on a Side Road for fucking Masters of Horror. It was the guy who did Phantasm. Mm-hmm. He did his little story and he was in it, which he's creepy as fuck in that movie, by the way. He's like fucking angry, violent man. I thought this was his best performance he's ever done.
Yeah, I think it just fell off of my radar because so many of our friends that love horror movies don't like it.
Really?
And I was like, what the shit?
I thought it was great,
because
man.
the idea is cool, the name is cool, like, and I know the premise behind it, and I'm like, that sounds interesting to me. I mean, like, I don't know, but
Watch it.
no,
I loved it.
I'm gonna watch it when I go home because now I need to. Because everybody's been on my ass about it the last 2 days, and I'm like, fuck you, I don't have time.
And then there is one last movie, and this is the
I know
big
what your
one for
favorite
me.
one is.
Yeah, this is
It's one of mine too.
This is one of the movies that everybody always like gave me shit about, and I don't know. I got triggered. I got triggered by how many people were giving it shit.
Yeah.
I
agree.
I was like, I thought that they were being insanely too critical. Apparently, this is my subject matter that I love to watch movies about, and you don't really get to see movies like this. Like where it
Very
just
much ever,
yeah, you
basically.
open the door and it's fucking batshit after that, and then with the budget that they had was so good, man. I have to give it my number 1 favorite movie that I keep going back to, that I am an instant classic fan, that I will always rewatch this movie and I will always enjoy it, is The Void.
Yep.
Yeah, that movie in particular, and I know that some of you guys that listen don't like the movie, and it wasn't as perfect as you were, but compared to all these other movies that we've talked about over the year, I really think that this is perfect for me. It is what I wanted. I wanted Cthulhu, I wanted Lovecraftian, I wanted darkness, I wanted some creepy fucking shit, I wanted decent acting and some decent fucking practical effects, and I got it in this movie. It wasn't 100% everything that I ever wanted in my if it was perfect, it would be my favorite movie of all time.
Right.
But this is the favorite movie of 2017, and I own it. I own patches, t-shirt. I have 2 t-shirts, patches. Like, I love this movie, so.
It's my second favorite movie of 2017.
Really? Well, you didn't say it in yours.
Because I knew you were going to, so I let you
But
have
you
it.
should not have done that.
But I did, so.
Okay.
Because I knew for sure it was going to be your number 1.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to talk about it. So
Well, and I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me, but it's who I am. I like that shit.
It's my second favorite because I always go back to it.
Yeah.
Every time I want to watch something that I like, that I know I like, and I need to put something on for whatever reason, I go back to that. I love that fucking movie. So I honestly like, and I don't understand the people who have negative opinions on it either. It doesn't make any sense to me.
I get it. I mean, it's just not
Sure,
their thing.
I understand, but at the same time, I'm just like,
I really think that people just wanted the thing. I think they wanted.
that's exactly what it is.
And it's like, you're not going to get the thing with this kind of budget, guys.
Precisely.
Period.
But it was so fucking good. I don't care. I loved it. I absolutely fucking loved it. But yeah, completely agree with you on that. That is my second favorite film that was released this year. Hands fucking down.
Sorry.
It's so good. So, but yeah, I know I shouldn't but I felt like it. I was like, I knew it was going to be his number 1, and you were like, so love that movie. So I was like, Alex can have it.
Now I have to give.
Alex is having that.
I have to I have to give some of my favorite runner-ups. And I'm just going to kind of run through them with a quick little brief thing about it. But these are movies that you guys are going to probably want to write down because these are good movies and it may be up your alley. But I really enjoyed these. And like some of the ones that you mentioned, I really did like I did like Gerald's Game. I just didn't resonate with me 100% that I liked, but that is a memorable movie. But these ones are the ones that I really enjoyed. The Belko Experiment, which was written by James Gunn and directed by the guy who did Wolf Creek. Mayhem.
Horror,
huh?
Australian Horror.
Right.
It's off the fucking chain this year.
Mayhem, which was essentially a Belko Experiment ripoff, which in a lot of ways, guys, I think it might actually be better than fucking Belko and Experiment. It is just the camaraderie in it. The chick from The Babysitter's in it.
Let's compare them.
Yeah.
Stephen Yeun.
We're definitely going to do that. I did a review on the Belko Experiment, but I would definitely be interested in doing that.
Yeah, down.
Definitely think that if you like the Belko Experiment, you will absolutely adore Mayhem. It's got the guy Glenn from fucking The Walking Dead. I think his name is Stephen Yeun. He's really good in it, and her and Samara Weaving is in it, and she's fucking badass. She's good. They work really well together. It's a little weird seeing Glenn, quote unquote, act in a movie that is not The Walking Dead.
He was in some stuff before The Walking
But I
Dead,
think if you watch it and you will appreciate it just for the mere fact that it's just good corporate chaos. Same with the Belko Experiment. It's pretty dark. Also, I liked Happy Death Day. I loved that. I thought that was a funny, fun, kind of teeny bopper movie. A little bit younger for my taste, but I thought it was a really good movie. The Babysitter with Samara Weaving in it.
Oh, it's so
really funny. That was a close contender for the top spot.
Yeah, I
think it's great.
It's like harsh. It's in there for me because
Yeah.
it was so fucking ridiculous.
And if you haven't seen Better Watch Out, put that movie on your list to watch next to that one because you're going to like it too.
Yeah. I had one of them that I wanted to mention too that I really liked was The Girl with All the Gifts.
Oh, I have that on my list here.
Whew.
Yeah, The Girl with All the Gifts was on my runner-up list.
Cool fucking premise.
I loved it all the way up until the very end where it reminded me severely of The Last of Us.
Yeah.
From the Sony PlayStation fucking game, which is amazing.
Yeah,
story-wise, the gameplay is kind of minimal.
It's a great game.
But it's a great game, and it's a great story more so. But yeah, it reminded me extremely of that.
Dispute. It's awesome. I loved it.
I don't know who stole what from who, but it reminds me of each other.
Yeah, for real. That's a good one. I think it's one of it's not necessarily underrated, but it's not as widely known as it should be.
Right.
Especially for having one of the main characters being such a big actress. So
another movie that I watched that I really liked and I think is super creative and I think you guys should check it out 100%. It is a low-budget independent film by Andrew Getty called The Evil Within. It is insanely creative. I really just thought the acting performance from the main character who plays a autistic or mentally handicapped kid plays the parts of him being mentally handicapped and not mentally handicapped or disabled, mentally disabled, I should say, probably. Yeah. He's really good in it. The guy that wrote it shortly passed away before the first premiere of the movie, and I think it is fantastic for an independent film, and I'm not just saying that because he died shortly before it, and which sucks because I would have loved to see where this guy went. And there's so many people in it, like so many different people in it. Some of the acting's a little spotty, but I think it's really good.
Yeah,
it's really weird and creepy and crazy.
I know. I want to watch that one. It's one I haven't seen yet.
Another one I watched was Berlin Syndrome.
I haven't heard of that.
That one is about a girl getting trapped into a home with a guy who she sort of likes, and he keeps her in her house and won't let her leave, and chains her up to the bed. And man, that movie is fucking intense. It's good. It's really good. It's dark. You've heard of what is that syndrome called where you fall in love?
Stockholm Syndrome.
Stockholm Syndrome. It's like that.
Yeah, I was like,
only
that
they're
sounds like
trying.
Stockholm
Yeah,
Syndrome.
it takes place in Berlin.
Yeah.
So it's very similar. She's like an American girl, I think.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So it's a good movie. I really liked it. It didn't make my top 5. That was a really tough choice. I also liked Raw.
Yeah.
Was really good.
That was on mine too.
That had a scene in it where I had to wince and turn away from, where she chews on something of her own, and it made me turn away like instantly.
I was disappointed, I think, I wasn't disappointed, fully disappointed with the movie because I still really liked it.
Right.
But what was disappointing to me was I didn't understand why people had this like uproar over it.
Yeah.
It was nowhere near as... It's just like when people were like, oh my God, like a Serbian film. Holy fuck. Like, it's so fucking fucked up.
Did they really compare it to a Serbian film?
Well, they were talking like this, or like the Neon Demon. Like when the Neon Demon came out. Remember, it got this like crazy like uproar about the Neon Demon and how fantastic that movie was. And I hate that fucking movie. I thought it was a good movie. Visually it is. Stunning.
Yeah. It's
story, fucking stupid. So I was completely disappointed with that.
Do you know what the idea of the Neon Demon is about? What Neon Demon means?
No.
Because when I heard that, when I kind of assumed a little bit about what it meant, think about it. The Neon Demon is Los Angeles.
Oh, duh. Yeah, sorry.
So it's exactly how Los Angeles is in
like
a horror story.
Like,
see, that made it okay for me.
Yeah, I get
like,
that.
I hated some of the chatty fucking like uppity snot nose, but it's actually really good.
Like, I don't know. I didn't like it or fall for it the way that most people did, so that was one that I was disappointed with. And I was just didn't understand why so many people were so up in arms over Raw, because I'm like, it's cool. It is a good movie. I like it a lot, actually, but I wasn't as like grossed out by it as a lot of people were.
Right.
Like, I've seen a million worse movies.
I actually called the end in the beginning of the movie, and I'm not one of those people that goes, "Oh, I saw it coming a mile away." I didn't. I just was like, I think this is where it's headed.
Yeah,
and it did.
Yeah, it's kind of easy to pick up or to pick out what's going to happen with it, but I don't know. It was an original concept, original idea, interesting way that they did it.
Yeah.
And then they made it current. They made it, a little bit more realistic in a way.
It's a notable ones
to talk about from this year, because it's definitely one of the more like impactful and like most talked about movies, I feel like, of this year too. So of indie, more independent type films, but
and it's a little bit more feminine dominant film,
big time.
Which I could also mention XX, the anthology that Karen Kusama was in. That was pretty decent.
It's all right.
Don't Knock Twice was one of those movies I thought was decent. I really liked it. I thought it was like an 8 for scariness. But another one that I liked was, I did like Annabelle's Creation. If for anything, it was better than the original Annabelle movie, even though you need to watch the original Annabelle movie in order to watch the second one to make it even better at the end, because it all wraps up into each other.
You already know my feelings on like the Chucky franchise and like any like doll killer franchise thing to me.
Well, that wasn't so much about a doll in this one. I mean, it
was
demonic
possession or whatever. So like, I get it. Like I they're okay, but I don't know. They're not my favorite. Like I don't like the Insidious franchise. I don't like The Conjuring was all right.
Yeah, but you don't like any of those, so that makes sense.
I don't really like a lot of the.
I do. I don't mind them. I really don't mind them. There's some that are worse than others, but yeah.
Some of it's great, but that's not really like I'm not super into that kind of genre or that kind of idea.
Makes sense.
So it's hard for me to get into movies like that, and like everybody was up fucking sucking Annabelle Creation's dick, so I
didn't think it was
not you, but
no, I didn't think it was as amazing as everybody was making it out to be. I thought it was a nice redemption from the first one that they did.
Mouse likes those movies.
Yeah,
so that's why
I thought they were good,
but I'm like, meh.
I thought the second one's better.
Never my go-to.
There's a specific scene in the movie where the person's using a pop gun, and it's an old tactic that they used in the Changeling.
Oh yeah.
With the ball, and I loved seeing it again in that respect because it was very tense, and that scene in particular to me was one of my favorite things about the movie.
Yeah.
Another movie that I actually really was surprised by and was more, I wouldn't say it's horror, but James McAvoy in Split. His acting
horror.
in that movie is amazing, and it really shows that he is way better than just X-Men. He was just amazing.
That level of like multiple personality disorder, that's fucking horrible.
And you know what? If you guys appreciate James McAvoy's performance in Split, you will definitely appreciate the actor in The Evil Within, because it's very similar how they go back and forth. He talks to a mirror. Highly recommend checking that one out too.
I'm so sad because that and the Devil's Candy are in my. Like,
Devil's Candy
I was going
amazing.
to watch them. Like, if I had time, I wanted to watch them because I knew I was going to like them and wanted to talk about them, but I just didn't have the time to do it. But I am going to go watch the Devil's Candy when I get home.
Another one that I was really, and this is my last one, Cult of Chucky is one that I want to mention. I liked it. I thought it was gory as fuck, and I'm not saying that the acting was great in it. It definitely doesn't deserve to be in the top 5 for me, but I still think it's notable. I thought it was like really creative, and I was interested in it. It surprised me more than I have ever been for the franchise. Like, I've not been excited about the franchise in a while, and this kind of re-brought some of that excitement back for me. I'm not saying it's perfect.
I get that.
A lot of people said The Curse was better than this one. I kind of like both of them. I think they're really good together. I like this one because it was gory as fuck. But the last movie I want to talk about is a fan film, and it is Never Hike Alone.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
Okay, Kyle did a review for it, which, by the way, guys, we got our writers, Kyle, Mark, and Sin Fury, who are going to be doing their top 5s for this year, this week. I'm pretty sure all of them are on board. I already got one from Mark already. So they're going to be doing their written ones up on the websites. You're going to want to keep an eye out for it. I'll definitely post it on all of our social media. But Kyle did a review for Never Hike Alone, the fan film, and I was kind of skeptical. And I hate to be that way, but it's really good. Like, it is a Friday the 13th fan film.
Sweet.
It is called Never Hike Alone. It's about an hour long. And I'll tell you what, Jason in that movie is the director of the fan film.
Neat.
And he's really good.
All right.
Like, some of the scenes in this movie, I was like, hell yeah. Like, me and Christina were, like, really into it. And I was not expecting much at all. I kind of, skimmed through the movie, jumped through it just to see parts of it and didn't see anything. And I thought it was going to be a snooze fest a little bit. It's not. Give it a chance. It's not the best Friday the 13th movie ever made, but it is a damn good one.
Okay.
And I think Kyle's score of 8.5 is spot on. I think it's perfect. Like, I think it's really, for a fan film and what you expect and the budget that they had, it is damn good.
Awesome.
And fucking Jason is ferocious. Like, he is fucking angsty motherfucking, and it's perfect. I loved it.
Awesome.
I loved Jason in this. I thought it was really good.
I'm into it.
So, watch it. I can't state that enough, guys. I really cannot state that enough. So, but yeah, that's my runner-ups. I know it kind of went long, guys, here. I wanted to just get everything in because it's just a lot. Oh. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you guys agree with us? Do you like the movies that we mentioned for some of our top stuff? I mean, what did you guys think? What are your favorites? I've been asking you guys, and do you love horror and a couple of other places, because I really am curious to see what you guys think, and I really enjoy hearing what some of your favorite movies are, because it makes me sometimes check out new movies, and it also makes me check out stuff that I may not have given the best chance to the first time around, and maybe I should just watch it again and maybe give it a second chance. So yeah, we'll definitely keep you guys abreast of some of the newer movies that are coming out for 2018. This year looks fucking amazing. We got a fucking Nicolas Cage coming back with fucking crazy Nick Cage fucking...
The fucking story idea behind that is nuts.
Even if the movie sucks and just seeing him like freak out, I'm all about it.
Yeah, seeing Nicolas Cage rage.
Yeah, we got the new Day of the Dead reboot, which looks pretty cool.
It looks fantastic.
There is so many, like we got that other movie where what's her name goes into the other side of the wall because her husband comes back all like fucked up, and he goes through the thing. It's actually, the music's written by one of the guys from Portishead.
What?
It's
the fuck are you
fucking
talking
badass.
about?
I can't even think of what it's called. It's where she goes through this like glowing rainbow wall, and it's some sort of alien thing where it's turning things into plants.
Stop it.
Yeah, it's like kind of interesting. I don't know. There's a ton of movies coming out for 2018. What are you guys excited to see? Like, what is your what are you most excited about? And it could be anything. I mean, if you're interested in the Avengers coming back for fucking, the Infinity War or Infinity Gauntlet
It
series.
doesn't have to be horror, guys.
Yeah.
Whatever the fuck you're excited about.
In particular, horror, I think, I'd be interested to hear more so. But there's a lot of good stuff. Deadpool 2's coming out. I'm interested
Give me one
in.
that you're most looking forward to.
Oh, fuck, dude. I can't think off the top of my head.
I'll give you one that I'm most looking forward to for 2018.
What?
The follow-up to The Strangers.
Oh, yeah, a lot of people.
It's supposed to be The Strangers Pray at Night.
Yes.
I believe is the actual name that they
P-R-E-Y.
P-R-E-Y, Pray
Yeah,
at Night.
yeah.
The Strangers is one of my favorite horror movies
Really?
ever made.
Really?
Yes. And I will tell you why. Because that is my number one fear.
Oh, okay.
Is a home invasion like that.
I'm definitely excited
love,
to see
love
Strangers too. I thought it was a better movie than people gave it credit.
I loved it. There, I have one more too.
Go ahead.
Halloween Returns.
Oh yeah, Danny McBride.
Jamie Lee Curtis is in it.
Danny McBride wrote it. How weird. John Carpenter's coming back to write the music.
Yeah, I can't.
He's writing the music for it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I loved the remake that Rob Zombie did of Halloween.
This is a big year for horror, guys.
This is a big year.
2018 is going to be huge.
Loved the original remake for Halloween by Rob Zombie. Thought it was fantastic.
Yeah.
I guess it was a prequel kind of remake together.
Sure.
Second one, fucking
Well, this
hated
isn't
it.
a remake. This isn't a reboot.
This isn't. No,
It's a fresh new story.
Yeah.
It is part 3.
I
essentially what part 3 would have been had they not made a separate standalone piece of.
It's like the band's getting back together again
right
for this movie.
Well, I hope it is, man, because
I'm really
because if it's a bunch of old dudes just farting on the microphone, I might not enjoy it. But
I don't know. We'll
I
see.
think it sounds like a good idea. Everybody's on board.
I'm trying not to put too much.
They got the original
it,
Michael Myers that's going to be on strings in a wheelchair that's going to come out.
They're going to bring back what's his name from the grave.
I kid, but I'm actually excited that he's in it. But I just think it's funny because I heard someone say that they're like, "What are they going to stretch him out in a wheelchair? Like, what's going on here?"
Mean.
Yeah, I know.
Is it? No, that's
he's
not,
actually pretty in shape.
Donald Pleasance is dead. And
no,
that was Loomis.
the guy that played Michael Myers. I just can't think of his name.
I know you're thinking.
I wasn't prepared for that.
And then one more that I have, which I'm excited about, and I hope they fucking do it right because I have, from being from California, I have gone to the Winchester Mystery House a million times, and it is an incredible place to go, an incredible place to see. Mm-hmm. But they're doing in 2018 a movie called Winchester.
I hope it's good.
And it does star Helen Mirren, who I also fucking love because that bitch is gorgeous. Yeah. And she's a great actress. But the idea behind the story is cool. And I don't know. It looks
the movie
like
I was talking about was Annihilation.
With the kids?
With the girl that goes through the rainbow
wall.
Oh,
that okay. That sounds familiar.
The music's haunting as fuck.
But I don't know. This sounds cool because it's supposed to be about Sarah Winchester being her stalked by. It's probably gonna lead into like why she did what she did with the house and blah blah blah. Like go into that whole like story. But it hasn't. It's not something that's really been touched on in a Hollywood setting.
Sure,
so,
I think I have higher hopes for it than I think Hollywood's capable.
Helen Mirren's in it, so I think
yeah.
Hollywood has high hopes for it too.
But I just worry.
We'll see. So do I. And again, it's this whole like demonic possession kind of idea that I'm not 100% behind all the time, or like a ghost thing,
right?
Which usually doesn't pique my interest very much. But to me, I am interested in this. But a lot of it's because I've spent a lot of time in that house growing up in California and touring it and being fascinated with the history. So I hope it's decent. But
there is so many more movies though, guys.
Dude.
What are you looking forward to? We were going to do a whole segment on it, but we were doing it like I had a struggle trying to get into like what movies were going to be the top for me. Yeah. And it's like I feel like I'm saying to my children like, go fuck yourself, and I don't ever want to tell my children to go fuck themselves. So we were going to do a worst of, and I just said, you know what, fuck it, I don't really care about doing it. Christina made a really good point. She was like, why?
I agreed. I'm sure a lot of people aren't going to understand or agree with a lot of the ones that I picked for movies that I thought were great, but I err more towards the sides of like thinker artistic like films that make you think from it. And
you like Barbarian Sound System or Sound.
It's fantastic, but I'm
Sound Studio. Sorry, I always say Sound System.
Yeah, I don't like cheap jump scare shit. one of the reasons why I don't like demonic possession or like ghost movies.
I like a myriad of shit, dude. I like horror comedies. I like like deep thinkers. I like fucking like sit back and just like ride the fucking
ride the wave.
Yeah.
Like I'm all over everything. I'm all over the scale. I like super fucking fucked up movies that just have gratuitous fucking violence for no fucking reason.
Right.
I love shit like that. I love true crime stuff. I love everything. Like all across
it was
the board.
really hard to pick 5 for me.
Yeah, it was.
I picked 25 last year, guys, so I cut it down by 20.
Yeah.
And then gave you like 12 or 13 runner-ups. So, but...
It was a pretty decent year.
What do you guys think? I want you to, in any of our social media or any of our commentary, let me know what you really think is like the pinnacle of 2017 for horror movies. And I know, I also understand that some people associate horror movies to being scared, while others leave the genre open. So what you may think is a horror movie to you may be something completely different than me or Brittany or anybody else for that matter.
I am one of those that leaves the genre open.
I do. There's so many subgenres, I have to include it all.
Yep.
So, but guys, thank you so much for being so patient this week. We hope you enjoy this little extra longer episode for the week. We put this out on Thursday, obviously, and we will be returning on Monday for a brand new episode, and then on Thursday after that. So it'll be our regular week. We're back in full swing, and I hope you guys had a safe, happy, and joyous fucking holiday season, and thank you for sticking around with us. If you know just one person that you think that would enjoy what we all do together and try to help make this community, let them know. Let's bring them in. But other than that, guys, thank you so much. Have a happy, fucking happy 2018. Let's ring in this motherfucking new year with style and blow the fuck up, all right?
Yeah. Hope you guys had a happy and safe new year. Thanks for listening. Stay weird, monsters.
You have been listening to Beyond the Void Horror Podcast. Tune in every Monday for a brand new episode.